League found themselves in the CIF Championship. However, led by quarterback Jack Manu, the Paramount Pirates gave the Griffins all they could handle and much more. And in the third quarter, an untimely fumble by the usually sure-handed Eric Caesar all but ended any hopes of a CIF championship for Todd Gregnano and coach John Barnes. 1989 shows an impressive list of returning starters, including Mr. All-Everything, quarterback Todd Gregnano. However, even with all the praises in every major college in the country recruiting him, there is still one accomplishment that eludes this young star. After a 5-year absence, head coach Larry Toner returns to a Servite team minus All-American running back Derek Brown. But after an impressive 21-0 victory over Wilson High School in the season opener, it is apparent the 1989 Servite Friars will be competitive in the always tough Angeles League. Comcast Sports presents Los Alamitos High School Football. From Rant Stadium, it's the Servite Friars versus the Los Alamitos Griffins. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to exciting high school football. Tonight, the Los Alamitos Griffins will be playing host to the Servite Friars. Hello there, I'm Denny Siegel, and today it's been a 100-degree weather day. But tonight it's kind of nice and balmy, and it's absolutely great football weather. Los Alamitos last week had a very impressive win, 42-22 over the Marina Vikings. And the player of the game, not to mention the Orange County Player of the Week, was Todd Gregnano, who completed 12 passes out of 18 attempts. He had 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, and not to mention, he ran for a 33-yard touchdown all by himself. So the Los Alamitos Griffins offense seems to be gearing up. And now, to kind of give us a little bit of a hint of what's going to happen with the Servite Friars, my colleague, Neil Evans.
Well, Servite tonight has really started out on a good note. They defeated Long Beach Wilson by a score of 21-0. This is a young team right now. In order for them to be successful, they need to really jump out and score first. If they get down 7-0, 14-0, they're going to have their heads down, and Los Al could run all over them. Walker tonight is going to have to lead this team through the air. Servite, a predominantly running team, and all the scouts know about Servite. They're going to try and run the football, but Servite tonight needs to throw the ball on first down, mix things up a little bit. If they do that and they're successful throwing on first down, they could give Los Al problems tonight.
Well, Neil, I think both teams had a kind of a warm-up game last week. Wilson was the foe of Servite, and Marina was the foe of Los Alamitos, and both those teams were really going nowhere. So I think it kind of was a good game for both teams to get the jitters out. And I think tonight's game is going to tell which of these teams is really a good football team.
The first possession for Servite tonight are really going to tell the difference. If Los Al scores on their first possession, Servite could get down the dumps right away. On the reverse side, if Servite can hold them, maybe make a nice, impressive offensive attack in their first possession, they're going to get some confidence, and they'll play a good football game tonight.
We're looking for a real great football game tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a few moments before the kickoff.
This is the increasingly competitive world we live in, and this is the country we want ahead of the competition. These are the people we'll be depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. These are the colleges and universities we're relying on for the people we're depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. So if you want America to stay #1 in the world, do something about it. Give to the college of your choice.
Comcast gives you something to cheer about. All the sports you can ask for, whatever's your favorite. From the court to the canvas to covering the field, the action's fast, furious, and hard-hitting. With exclusive live coverage of major events. From Wimbledon to championship boxing. From Sunday night football to Stanley Cup hockey. You've got the ringside seat others are paying a bundle for. People who love sports love Comcast.
What's wrong, Vince?
My woman's done left me, my dog ran away, and people still aren't wearing their safety belts.
Aw, Vince, you singing those buckle-up blues again?
Some people don't wear their seat belts. I can't believe it's true. Those kind of people get knocked right out of their shoes. So buckle up, baby. Don't sing me those buckle-up blues.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
I mean it, baby. Buckle, honeysuckle, buckle, yeah.
We're just a few minutes before the opening of this football game. Let's take a few moments and go on the field to Willie Padilla.
Hi, everybody. I'm Willie Padilla. Let's take a look at the two teams that are playing in this game, Servite and Los Alamitos, two of the best programs in the Southland. Servite, winners of CIF championships in 1982 and 1983. Los Alamitos, trips to the finals in 87 and 88. First, let's turn our attention to Servite High School. They were 10-3 a year ago. They have a new head coach this year in Larry Toner. They opened up their season with a victory over Long Beach Wilson, a 21-0 affair where Servite was pretty much methodical in defeating the Bruins. Let's go back 1 week and take a look at the highlights as the Servite Friars dominated Long Beach Wilson Bruins. The Friars got on the scoreboard in the first half on this 6-yard touchdown run by Billy Ray to make it 7-0 Servite over Long Beach Wilson. But Servite High School can pass the ball too. That's why you'll be seeing a lot of this young man, senior quarterback Rob Walker, here hooking up with his favorite receiver Mike Kroll for a big gainer in the third quarter. And that big gainer would set up a touchdown just a few moments later as all-purpose running back Mike Wallach would score a 1-yard touchdown to make it 14-0 in favor of Servite. Then Ray closed out the scoring with this second touchdown, a run of 6 yards to make it 21-0 as Servite defeated Long Beach Wilson for their first win of the season. As for Los Alamitos, last week they opened up their season against a Division I school, the Marina Vikings. However, Marina proved not to be that tough. After all, over the last 2 years, Marina has gone 1-19. As for Los Alamitos, they have lost just 3 times in those same 2 years. 2 of those losses coming in the championship final. And of course, Los Alamitos, a big win, 42-22. Let's go back 1 week once again, take a look at some of the highlights with Los Alamitos.
0-3, it's Bar Lumber.
The Los Alamitos Griffins are led by senior quarterback Todd Gregnano, who tossed this 54-yard completion to Chad Milan on the first play of the season to set the tone of the game. Of course, it would be all Los Alamitos early. And that drive culminated with this 6-yard strike, Gregnano to Milan once again to make it 7-0 Los Alamitos. And Gregnano shows he can do more than just pass, as first he displays his scrambling ability and then shows he knows what to do when he sees daylight, as he rumbles 36 yards for the score, and it's 14-0 Los Alamitos. And after a Marina touchdown made the score 14-7, Eric Mitchell electrified the crowd with this 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and the new kid on the block made it 20-7 in favor of the Griffins. Watch him go. Well, there you take a look at how the two teams did last week in their season opening victories, Servite over Long Beach Wilson, and of course Los Alamitos over Marina High School. The look coming into this game, well, Los Alamitos did not prove much with their 42-22 victory over Marina. I mentioned in last week's game that their offense was not tested. Their defense, the A team, did well but was not really tested by Marina. This week, a totally different story as they face Servite. Servite, a much better team, a much better program, and based on how well Los Alamitos does this week, we'll know how good they're going to be in 1989. Well, that's a look at the game from down here. Let's go back upstairs to Denny and Neil.
Okay, Willie, thank you very much. We are introducing on the field right now the starting lineups of the players, and Los Alamitos, as you well know, is in the Empire League, and these are just warm-up games for the real test, and that is for the actual league play. Los Alamitos, not only do they have to play Servite tonight, in front of them is Villa Park, Compton, and Lakewood before they get into Empire League play, and the preseason consensus that the 2 biggest obstacles for Los Alamitos will be Luera and Esperanza. Servite, they're in the Angeles League. Neil, how do they stack up?
Servite in the Angeles League is going to have a tough time. They're going to be battling for a playoff spot. There's really the battle for the Angeles League title is really between Bishop Ahmad and Mater Dei. Bishop Ahmad, a very strong football team this year, although they did lose their opener. They lost to a ranked team, but Bishop Ahmad very strong. They were in the final game last year. They look to go back to the final game. Cal High Sports ranked them number 4 in the state. So, and along with Mater Dei, so Servite's really going to have their hands full. And the last year of the Angeles League, a lot of pride on the line trying to win that last league title, because next year some of the teams are going to head to the Del Rey League and some other teams are going to head to other leagues.
Okay, well, we have a few moments before the kickoff. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
to great shows for kids, Comcast has it. The best in family programming. True-to-life adventures and touching family drama. Movies, specials, and series that are highly entertaining as well as educational. Innovative, award-winning shows made especially for kids and cable. Brought to your home by Comcast.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Seal Beach Cable Communications Foundation, funding local programs for the residents and community of Seal Beach. There's Coach John Barnes of the Los Alamitos Griffins giving his players a little bit of a pep talk prior to the kickoff. I understand that Servite deferred, Neil.
What Servite wants to do maybe is they're going to get out there, get their defense out there. They'll make the decision in the second half. Servite wants to get their defense, get some momentum going defensively, and usually in the first possession, you want your defense out there instead of your offense. Give your offense a chance to really gear up for their first possession.
The Los Alamitos football team is on the field, and we're waiting for Servite as they now are approaching the football field to be able to kick off to Los Alamitos. Deep for Los Alamitos is Eric Mitchell standing on the goal line, and the kicker for Servite is Sean Kane.
Mitchell back deep, of course, has great speed. Defeated White from Crespi in the 100-yard dash as a sophomore. Got great speed, as all Los Al fans know, and he's capable of breaking a long one.
And there you see Kane approaching the football. Mitchell lets it bounce on the goal line. It goes into the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Los Alamitos Griffins on the 20-yard line. And this Los Alamitos offense now takes the field.
And that's one way of not getting hurt by a good returner, is to kick the ball away from him. And in high school football, if you kick the ball in the end zone, there's no return.
As you can see, the starting lineups of offense for Los Alamitos and defense for Servite. On Los Alamitos, keep your eyes on the quarterback, number 1, Todd Gregnano, and 22, Eric Mitchell, the tailback. That's a pass complete to Tyler Cashman. And that's a first down for Los Alamitos.
Gregnano showing his great arm right there, just a quick out right there to Cashman. Made a nice turn for the run. A lot of that depends on the ability of the wide receiver to turn the ball upfield. That time he did a great job, just ran straight north and south, not trying to make a lot, just try to get what he could.
That's a 9-yard gain, so it'll be second down and 1. The ball is on the Gregnano back to pass. That's Chad Milan, gets it on the 49-yard line and is pushed out of bounds at the 50.
You can't give a high school quarterback with the ability of Gregnano a chance to throw the ball. Milan did a great job. He came back, did like a deep curl pattern, came back for the ball on that play. Gregnano hit him right in the numbers. But if for Servite to be effective on defense tonight, they're going to have to put some pressure on Gregnano. You can't give a quarterback of his ability 4, 5, 6 seconds to throw the football.
Ball is resting on the 49-yard line of the Griffins. That's Milan split wide to the left. John Collins in the slot. Tyler Cashman wide to the right, and the ball is thrown to Cashman, and it's complete. And Cashman goes inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
Los Alamitos right now not hiding anything. They're coming out throwing the football. That was basically the same play they ran on the first play of the ball game. Now Servite's going to have to make the adjustment. The corners are going to have to come back, play very tight on the wideouts, try and maybe play some man-for-man, blitz a little bit, and stop the momentum of Los Al right now.
There's timeout on the field. You know, we were talking about prior to the game, Neil, about it being 100 degrees out during the day, and it's kind of a balmy evening tonight, and we are being infested with gnats here in the press box. It is incredible.
It is bug central up by us. You can't see it on the TV right now or on your TV screen, but up here in the booth, we are getting bombarded, and I forgot my raid can. I thought you were going to bring it tonight.
Gregnano passing it off the fingertips of Cashman. Defending was Ordonez of the Friars.
Well, I guess you could say right now Servite doing a great job of stopping Los Al's running attack, because they haven't run the football yet. Throwing on 4 downs. That time Servite was lucky. Cashman just dropped the football.
Second down and 10, and the ball is on the 38-yard line. And there's Mitchell. Mitchell going straight ahead and powering himself inside the 35-yard line.
Good job by the defense up front. They're anchored by Greg Fish and Adam Tobias, and they did a good job of stopping that. It's kind of a delayed draw right there, and they blocked the middle, stayed in their holes, and made a good play.
It is third down, 6 yards to go, and they place the ball right smack dab on the 35-yard line. Los Alamitos in the same formation. Regnano still has the ball. Chad Milan picks it up on one bounce. It is incomplete.
That time Regnano underthrew the ball. Milan doing a little in pattern, did about 15 yards, and really that ball should have been completed by Regnano. Right now, Scott Jones, the safety for Servite, is really playing too deep. He's going to have to come up and try and help out his defenders as much as they can, because Los Al's only sending 2-3 receivers into the field right now, but the corners are 8 to 10 yards off the receiver. The safety is playing 15 yards behind the ball, and they're going to have to cheat up and really play some tight defense on the Los Al wideouts.
It's a fourth. The Los Alamitos is going for it on fourth down. Regnano moves Fuentes around.
And Mitchell moved. Looks like Mitchell might have moved a little early after the set. We could get a procedure penalty against Los Al.
Delay game.
And that's exactly what's happening, Neil. They're marking it off against the Griffins.
That time it's just a delay of game penalty, so that makes it 4th and 10. That gives the punter a little more room to try and get the coffin corner.
And the punter for Los Alamitos is Tyler Cashman. Tyler is 6'3" and 190-pound junior. Back deep is Ordonez and Easter. Cashman gets a high kick. Ordonez signaling for the fair catch, nowhere near the ball. The ball bounces, and the ball was bouncing on the 1-yard line. It hit the 1-yard line twice, Neil, and finally it caromed into the end zone.
Well, you could say it was a great deke by the Servite player to make it think that he was going to catch the ball, because all the Los Al players on the punt coverage went to the Servite player. However, Los Al needs to run to the goal line, protect the ball, find the ball, and that punt right there really should have been down at the 1-yard line. A chance for Los Al to pin Servite deep in their own territory, and Servite got a break right there.
Okay, Parkinson is in the backfield with Wallach. Walker is back to pass. And it falls incomplete. It looks like it was intended for Parkinson. Or was it Gardner?
It was intended for Jeff Gardner. Gardner ran his pattern toward the sideline, and Walker threw the pass towards the middle. A little miscommunication on that play, but Servite coming out, they're throwing on first down. That's what they need to do. Los Al really stacked the front line right there. They did a good job. Watch it here on the replay. Walker with a nice drop back pass, and he's just throwing it over the middle looking for his receiver, and we can see Walker's heading toward the sideline right there, and just a little bit of miscommunication.
It's a handoff to Easter. And Easter is just gang tackled on the 22-yard line. Brian Havens led the charge.
Brian Havens is going to anchor this defense. 6'3", 222-pound senior. Has the capabilities of being a Division I linebacker, highly touted, and he did a nice job pursuing the Servite running back on that play.
Here you see the Los Alamitos defense as they're fanning out into their positions of defense, and here come the Friars. Third down, 8 yards to go, and the ball is on the 22-yard line. Walker barking out the signals, and he's back to pass. He passes it complete to Wallach out of the backfield, and Wallach makes the first down. He is brought down, I believe it was by Alan Reduta. Is that correct?
I think it was, but what a great job by Wallach on that play. A good safety pass by Walker. As we take a look at it again, we'll watch Wallach. Once he gets the ball, he is turning upfield. He knows where the first down marker is, and he did a great job of running over the Los Al defender. As he tries for that first down, he knows he needs that first down. He just runs right over him to get that first down.
Walker again barking out signals. Parkinson is a man in motion, in a slow motion at that, and Walker is back to pass. And that is the Weiss, Kent Weiss. Kent Weiss catches it out of the backfield, and it gets all the way up to the 47-yard line, brought down by Chris Weiler.
That was a good play by Servite right there. Walker looked away and then threw back to Weiss in the other direction. That's what Servite's going to need to do tonight. Walker is going to have to look away as primary receiver. As we take a look at it again, he's looking up the middle, looking to his left side. Now he turns to the right. Just throws a little quick pattern. Wasn't the greatest pass in the world, a little wobbly, but it hit his target, and Weiss did a good job of just turning the ball upfield and getting the most yardage he could.
Servite is spreading out their offense. 2 men in the backfield. And that's to Wallach. And Wallach is tackled right about the line of scrimmage.
Hart Brown on that play and made a nice sure tackle. That's a time right there where I'm sure Wallach was sure he wished he had the tearaway jersey, because he could have got 5 or 10 more yards, but since Brown had a nice hold of that jersey, he was easy to bring down.
And that's the first time we've heard Hart Brown's name tonight, and I'm sure it won't be one of the last. He's a big guy out there at 6'4", 235 pounds.
Him and Havens are going to anchor this defense for LaSalle, and they're going to be successful in league and in CIF. Those are the two people that are the keys on defense.
Walker straight back to pass. The ball is overthrown, and it's a penalty on the play. The ball was intended for Parkinson.
Sean Hooker right there, as Parkinson was trying to set himself up to get the pass. Sean Hooker, number 30, was bumping him in the air. There wasn't much of a bump as we take a look at it again. There wasn't much of a bump as the ball was coming over their head as there was before the ball reached the position. Right there, that's not really where the contact initiated. It was before that Hooker was interfering with the receiver, and that's why the referee took his flag. He had it buried deep in his pocket right there, so it takes a while to get that flag out of there.
That's a big penalty against the Griffins, and that ball was uncatchable to begin with. It was way overthrown.
Way overthrown. Actually, Hooker did a good job of playing defense. He just gave too many bumps. Looks like they were battling position in basketball for the rebound.
Well, the ball is now on the 36-yard line of the Griffins. 1st and 10 for the Friars. And Walker is back to pass. Complete to Parkinson, an outstanding catch by Parkinson, and he goes all the way down. Where did they spot it? Around the 4-yard line. Neil, what a great bit of concentration as he was falling backwards.
What a great catch. What a great play by Walker. He was getting some pressure. He stood in the pocket, got the ball away, and really number 2, Chris Weiler, had a great chance to pick the ball up. As we take a look at it again, watch Walker stay in the pocket. He's going to get rid of the ball, and Weiler's just going to miss the interception right there. And Parkinson, what a great job of concentration, had the presence of mind to turn up field and got it 1st and goal for the Friars.
Boy, and the Friars are knocking right on the door. They're on the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. They were the full house backfield. It goes to Kent Weiss, and Weiss is just stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Herzig led that charge.
Servite right now, 2nd and goal. Now they have the ball at the middle of the field. They tried a little power play that time, but they had too many linemen really on the other side of the field. They ran to LaSalle strength right there, and there was a host of Griffins waiting for the running back on that play.
The Friars getting a big break on that interference call, now deep into Los Alamitos territory after the wonderful catch by Parkinson. And it's now 2nd and goal. Walker still has the ball, and that's a touchdown for the Friars. That's Kent Weiss.
Great bit of play calling throughout the entire drive here on Servite. Rolling out, that was the way they were going to go. They basically ran the ball on the 1st down and goal, trying to show LaSalle they were going to run the ball, and this time a little play action. Drew the linebackers in, and Weiss was open in the backfield.
Let's take a look at how this play unfolded.
Right there, he beat number 33 for LaSalle. That was Hart Brown. Brown was responsible for the running back on that play because he got sucked in by the play action. Weiss was left open.
The extra point is now being set up and attempted. The kick is up. And it's good, and it's made by Sean Kane. So with 6 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first quarter. The Servite Friars draw first blood, 7-0.
This is what Servite needed coming into today. They are heavy underdogs, and in their first possession, they march right down the field with the aid of a big pass interference penalty. They go right down the field and score, and right now they are on top of the world. They have a lot of confidence, and right now, Los Al has let this Servite team think they can beat them.
That drive was 80 yards and 8 plays. It took 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Walker, the quarterback, was 4 out of 5 for 62 yards. So, yes, that penalty was a contributing factor, but the offensive machine was working. Los Alamitos has 2 men back. That's Eric Mitchell and Chad Milan.
Servite last time kicked the ball away from Mitchell, trying to get the ball in the end zone, and like I stated earlier, the ball heads into the end zone. In high school, you can't run it back out. So the idea for Kane right now is to get that ball into the end zone. That way Mitchell doesn't have a chance to return the ball.
Kane has gotten the okay to kick the ball off, and here we go. It's a high end over end. It hits on the 5-yard line. Mitchell picks up the ball. Mitchell turns the corner. Mitchell has some daylight. Mitchell has 1 man to beat, which happens to be Kane, and Kane brings him down on the 45-yard line. Eric Mitchell.
Oh, what a job by Mitchell. You can see the great speed that he has. World-class speed in that backfield right now, and how dangerous he can be if he has his gets his hands on the football. Kane, a great play as we watch it again. As Mitchell comes toward the sideline, Kane is the last man that has a shot at him. Did a great job, sealed him to the sideline, and drove him out of bounds. If Mitchell is able to cut back, he is gone for 6.
Todd Gregnano, quarterback, calling off signals. That's Chad Milan right over the center of the field, inside the 45-yard line. It'll be enough for a first down. Billy Ray made the tackle for Servite.
Milan that time ran a little slant pattern inside. They ran number 7, John Collins, on a wide-out pattern toward the sideline. Brought the cornerbacks and the safety more of the wide side of the field, and there's Milan right there in the seam, and a nice pass by Gregnano for the completion.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is on the 43-yard line. Gregnano again finds Milan on a quick look-in. Goes for like a 5-yard gain, and again, Billy Ray made the tackle.
Well, Ray's going to be very busy tonight on those wideouts, and once again, Los Al doing the same thing they did in the last series, and really the last series they only stopped themselves with a penalty, a drop ball, and a poorly thrown ball. They're moving down the field with great ease tonight.
The backfield is Fuentes, the fullback. Eric Mitchell is the tailback. And Gregnano still has the ball as he's sweeping out of the pocket. Oh, the ball was intended for Chad Milan. He stretched out and went off his fingertips. A nice attempt to catch the ball.
That was a great pass by Gregnano right there. Milan cupped his hands to the inside. Most time the wide receiver, they want your hands out in front of the ball, and if he extends his hands the other way instead of underneath the ball, he really has a good chance to make that catch. But he cupped his hands underneath, and that's when the ball is going to go off your hands. You need your hands out in front, meet that ball, and that was a catchable ball. But Milan should have caught that ball.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Ball on the 38-yard line. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first quarter. Mitchell turns the corner. Mitchell turns the corner, has 1 man to beat, and he was brought down by Scott Jones. Boy, that man can blaze.
Oh, he is an exciting player to watch, and once he turns the corner, you might as well forget about it. Scott Jones, another job this time, did a good job of sealing off the sideline, not letting Mitchell cut back and save the touchdown. As we take a look at it again, Mitchell, you got to make this man turn back inside so the defense can help you out. He runs right past Wallach, and Jones makes the nice play to run him out of bounds.
There's timeout on the field. Mike Garman of the Servite Friars going off the field. I don't know what the problem is, Neil. He's being replaced by Juan Bojorquez.
We might have an equipment problem. There might be the shoulder pads are unsnapped right now, and they're kind of loose, and so they need an equipment change, and you got to get the player off the field.
Okay, first down, Los Al. The ball was intended for John Collins, and it was thrown behind him. Now, whether Collins misplayed the route or Gregnano threw his first bad pass tonight remains to be seen.
I think Gregnano missed that. He was very discouraged looking back at his head coach for the next play. He was discouraged. He should have hit the receiver. He was wide open and just threw it a little bit behind him.
Second down. Gragnano, wide open, is Milan, and that's a touchdown, Los Alamitos. Boy, that's impressive, Neil. They just came right on back after Servite put on a touchdown.
Milan, once again, running that slant pattern in, and that's something Los Al has just taken the idea that if Servite's going to give you this play one time, hey, chances are they're going to give it to you again. Milan with a nice catch, and just Gragnano zipped the ball right into the seam on that slant pattern, and he was open for 6.
Eric Wallace, the kicker, lining up to tie this football game. The kick is up, and it's good. So with 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first quarter, it is all tied up, 7-7. This might be a shootout, Neil.
Both quarterbacks are very hot tonight. Gragnano marches his team right back down the field to get 7. The Los Al offense right now reminds me of Los Altos, of almost a similar names, really, with Steve Smith, the quarterback. Remember, Steve Smith at Los Altos went on to play basketball at BYU. They basically ran the same patterns. He was a great quarterback, had a good arm. They ran the quick outs. They were so worried about getting beat deep and getting beat down the field that the quick outs, the slant patterns inside were all open, and he took advantage of that. He led Los Altos to a CIF championship over Esperanza, and Gragnano is doing really the same thing here for Los Al. That last drive went 6 plays and 54 yards, a minute 29 for Los Al to come back and score.
They don't take their time, do they? They just go right at you.
Throw the ball in the air. The idea is score as many points per minute as you can.
Back deep for the Friars. Number 21, Easter. Number 8, Ordonez. It's a short kick, end over end. Ordonez picks it up on the 10, and there's flags all over the place.
We might have Los Al running offsides on the kickoff, and that'll move the ball back to the 35-yard line, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think you're pretty right on the number there, Neil, because that's exactly what's happening. They're going to start to march it off.
And they're moving it up. See, so you shouldn't count me right there.
Well, I just assumed you were right. I mean,
it was offsides against Servite. That's an even stranger call than Los Al being offside. Servite this time needs to be 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and they moved inside that yard line, and that was where the penalty was. But I appreciate you thinking I was right. I do appreciate that.
I'm on your side, Neil, all the way.
One of the few people that is, but I appreciate it.
Again back is Ordonez and Easter. Ordonez gets the ball on the 4-yard line, has blockers in front of him, and it doesn't do him any good at all. He doesn't even make the 20-yard line.
First down.
Okay, Chris Weiler was the one that put the hurt on Ordonez, so with 4 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first quarter, the football game is tied 7-7, and the Friars are coming out of their huddle.
Important for the Friars right now to mount some kind of drive. Even if they don't score, they need to let that Servite defense catch their breath, get a little bit of a rest, and try and regroup against the offensive, really, explosion of Gragnano and Los Al.
Straight on head. Big gain for Servite.
Good call right there. Weiss on the draw play. Did a good job of hiding the ball. Good job by Walker disguising the play. And Weiss waited for the play development. Didn't run too soon. Waited for the holes to appear as we take a look at it again. And he's just going to weave his way through and get a first down.
Ball is camped on the 33-yard line. And Servite is not bashful about running the ball and running right at Los Alamitos.
That was a good play. That was a counter play to their pass. They've been successful passing, and that was a good play to call on first down.
Walker back to pass. That's Wallach. And Wallach, boy, is he hit on the 35-yard line by Brad Havens and Chris Weiler.
Good job by Havens that time. He got burned for the touchdown, but this time he stayed home, did his assignment, watching the receiver, the running back coming out of the backfield, and just made a nice play. As we take a look at it again, Walker looking down the middle and tries to do a little look off the main receiver and throw back, but that time Havens was right there, and he was helped out by Chris Weiler.
Here's Coach John Barnes and Barry Sher, the wide receiver coach, looking onto the action. Second down, 8 yards to go, ball on the 35-yard line. Weiss and Easter in the back field for the Friars. There's a penalty that blows this play dead, and there's flags all over the place.
Could be a delay game penalty against Servite right here, and it is.
Delay a game.
And that hurts.
On
Right
the
now,
way.
Servite tonight has
Still
to really
second
play
down.
mistake-free football to stay in the game right now. They got some confidence built up scoring early, and they needed to score early, but Los Al came right back, and their confidence is a little shaken right now. And to be successful throughout the 4 quarters, they're going to have to play mistake-free, not turn the ball over, and they can't get penalties like that delay a game penalty.
Second down, 13 yards to go, and 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first quarter, and the clock continues to run. Walker is back to pass. That's Easter with the reception. Easter has a lot of running room, and Easter gets all the way up to a first down for the Friars.
Jose Salazar, Jose Salazar, number 58 for Servite, did a great job. There was one Los Al defender who had a chance to stop that play for a big loss, and Jose Salazar, the center for Servite, cleared him out of the way, and that enabled Easter to get the first down.
Ball is on the 43-yard line. First down and 10 for the Friars. Walker again back to pass. He's being pushed out of the pocket this time, and he overthrows Kent Weiss, but he received an awful lot of pressure by Hart Brown.
Good pressure by Brown that time. Also number 43, or excuse me, Brown is number 43. Weiss was open, and he had some blockers in front of him on the screen play down to the wide side of the field, but the pressure made Walker rush that pass.
So it's second down and 10 yards to go.
Right in here, not a bad play to call some type of running play, maybe a trap or a draw again. Do something different on 2nd and 10.
And that's Wallach. Wallach going straight ahead, and the Griffins were not put out of position that time. Who led the charge was Hart Brown and Reduta.
That was a good play to call. They called the draw play, 2nd and 10, an obvious passing down the way Servite is calling plays here tonight. But right now, they got some yardage out of that. It's about 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, and that's an easier play to converge. You can do a lot of things. You can scramble for that first down, little short passes, or you can go deep down the field. If they were trying to throw and had an incomplete pass on that play, it could have been 3rd and long, and that really would have put the pressure on Walker.
Parkinson is in motion. Walker back to pass, and it is complete to Wallach. No, I take that back. Mike Kroll, number 40. Mike Kroll, the wide receiver, and he was brought down by Chris Weiler, and that's a first down.
Good play by Servite right there. A nice pattern by Kroll, and it's just an easy pass to complete. He beat Chris Weiler on the play. As we take a look at it again, Walker immediately throws the ball a little wobbly on that pass, but it hit his target, and that's all that really counts.
It was a completion, and it is a first down as we're getting near the end of the first quarter with 1.5 minutes left to play. 7-7. Walker is back to pass. And that is Wallach out of the backfield making the reception. Kip McCullough made the tackle.
Great pattern by the Friars right there. They ran Kroll on the inside and shot Wallach just basically right off his shoulder. Kroll turned inside, took the defense with him, and all 3 defenders for Los Al went with Kroll to the inside. Excuse me. And then Wallach was left right open on the sideline.
Boy, this is going to be one heck of a shootout tonight.
Very impressed by Servite. Los Al came back, scored right away, less than 1.5 minutes. But Servite is hung tough. They showed a lot of poise and a lot of maturity for this young team to come back really against a good Los Al defense.
There's timeout on the field as the coaches go out to their respective units. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Los Alamitos 7, Servite 7.
Right now, we talked about Walker, how great of a job he had to do tonight to lead his team, and he's doing it right now, Danny. 8 of 10 for 108 yards, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
That's very impressive statistics. And Todd Gregnano is the quarterback getting all the press, and Rob Walker is doing just a fine job.
And he's hitting his open receivers. He's throwing the ball early, and a key right now is he's looking elsewhere and then hitting a secondary receiver. It might be the primary receiver in the pattern, but he's looking the other way. most quarterbacks in high school will tend to look at their primary receiver, and that's the person they're focusing on, and good defensive backs are going to pick up on that, and that's how they get easy interceptions. One of the best at doing that was at El Dorado, Craig Rutledge, a 3-time All-CIF player. He was great at reading the quarterback's eyes and could pick the ball off. Walker here is doing a great job of looking the Los Al defenders away and hitting that open receiver.
First down and 10. And that is Kent Weiss. Kent Weiss going off tackle, and he's brought down by Hart Brown. Another thing, too, to expand on what you were talking about, Neil, I'm also impressed with Larry Toner in his play calling. He's really mixing it up. He has a great game plan.
Mixing it up, throwing the ball on first down, 2nd and 10. They ran a draw play. They've run some counter plays on the run right there. First down, they have been running much on first down, and that basically run right there keeps Los Al honest, lets the defense know that we're going to run the ball a little bit today, and it brings the defense in a little bit, and that opens up the passing.
2nd down. And Walker is back to pass. He is being pushed out of the pocket. The ball was actually, who had a better chance of that ball was a Los Alamitos defender versus the Servite player, but now it is 3rd down.
Hart Brown got in there in a hurry. Really, I don't know if anybody touched him, but he put a lot of heat on Walker, and the Servite offensive line is going to have to do a job on Hart Brown, keep him out of Walker's face and keep him out of the backfield. Walker needs time to throw. He takes a very slow drop back, gets rid of the ball well, but he takes a long time getting back to his spot in the pocket, and if Brown's in there in a hurry, he's not going to have any time to throw.
Parkinson and Easter in the backfield. Parkinson goes up onto the line of scrimmage. Servite is 2 for 2 in 3rd down efficiency. Walker is back to pass. It was dropped. I believe it was dropped. The referee is calling it an incomplete pass. Defending on the play was Kit McCullough. The ball was intended for Mike Kroll.
Kroll should have caught the ball. Walker put it right on the money right there. That should have been a catchable ball, and Kroll kind of took a look at the back of his eye, heard some footsteps coming. He got in the air, and right there he was in the air, but he heard the people behind him, and really the Los Al defensive backs, Weiler and Hooker and those guys are playing way off the ball, and Kroll was wide open by 2 or 3 yards.
We have a field goal attempt. It'll be a 40-yard field goal attempt by Sean Kane. The ball is up. It is low and no good. So Los Alamitos held. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Los Alamitos on their own 20-yard line. And that was a very impressive drive until they just ran out of gas.
Right, the drop pass is very discouraging. They were moving the ball well, but even though Servite didn't score on that play, it was a good drive. It gave their defense a time to adjust. They got some coaching on the sideline and gave them a little bit of a rest. And we'll see if the Servite Friars can make any kind of adjustment on defense. And it was good for the Servite offense. Keeps that confidence up that they can move the ball at will against the Griffins.
That's Mitchell. Mitchell, he bounces off of Servite players, and he gets to about almost the 30-yard line.
Right there, Mike Garman for Servite, number 66, did a great job of extending out the offensive line on that play and really spread it out well. But Mitchell, showing his great speed, just burst around. You don't have to give Mitchell much, maybe about a foot and a half on that sideline, and he'll take off. But that was a better job right there of Servite, doing a better job on that, basically the sweep play by the Friars against Mitchell than the last 2 plays. Mitchell, on the last offensive series, ran for 39 yards.
Mitchell has some great acceleration. Gregnano has the ball, throws. He's looking for his wide receiver. He was looking, was that Tyler Cashman out there? No, it was Chad Milan. He was looking for Milan, but they just couldn't connect, but it was a great call. 2nd down and inches. Might as well go for the whole ball of wax.
You can try, and good job by the Servite defense that time. They were not fooled, but that's a great play to call. You got, 2nd and inches. You can come back and run a play and get the 1st down, but why not go for it? Servite that time, very prepared for that play. Didn't get beat deep, if I get my tongue straightened out, and did a nice job of preventing the long play.
And that's Mitchell. No, excuse me, that's Fuentes. Fuentes going straight ahead and bulldozes his way to the 41-yard line for a 1st down.
Good call right there by Los Al. You got to mix it up a little bit between your running backs. Dish off. Mitchell is the primary back by right there, but you got to give the ball to Fuentes, run him up the gut, play power football. and they got the first down.
And that is the end of the first quarter. Los Alamitos 7 and the Servite Friars 7. We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece okay, Claire.
But Vince...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But Vince...
No more dashboard du jour or Vince under glass, huh?
But Vince... Look out! Even with airbags, Vince, you still got to remember to buckle your safety belt.
Now you tell me.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
We're back live. It's Regnano passes the ball to Chad Milan. It was a dying whale of a pass. Milan catches the ball on the 45-yard line. That was a strange play, Neil.
Looked like we had some miscommunication right there. Some people, half the team was running one offensive play, the other half were running another. And of course, Regnano with the presence of mind just to get the ball off, and they really got something out of nothing.
So now, second down, they gained 5 yards on a complete strange play and maybe even an aborted play. Fuentes, the man in motion, and it's a pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell, boy, oh boy, he's into the secondary. Mitchell has one man to beat, and he's beat. Eric Mitchell, touchdown, Los Alamitos. My gosh, is he fast.
He is unbelievably fast, and right there, he didn't need much of a hole at all, and it's just unbelievable the acceleration that he has. And Regnano, it's amazing how Los Al throws the ball as much as they do. They have a great running back in Eric Mitchell right there. And once he got into the open field, just forget about it.
It was amazing. As he hit the secondary, one man had a chance at him, which was John Cassidy, and Mitchell just turned him upside down and inside out.
If we take a look at the play again, Sean Easter, 21, will fall down. You see him fall down right there as Mitchell just runs right by him. And there's no way Cassidy with a diving effort trying to get him, but there's no way.
The kick is up and good, and Los Alamitos takes the lead again, 14-7, with 11 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first half.
The play, the defense, they really had a chance to stop that play last time with Sean Easter, number 21. It's amazing what Servite is doing in the backfield right now. The ball was at the 45-yard line of Los Al, and Easter was playing the strong safety. He was at his own 35-yard line. He is 20 yards off the ball, and you just can't do that. Take a look at it again. It's Easter who falls down right there on that play, and you just can't have a strong safety 20 yards off the ball, because by the time Easter reacts, comes up to try and make a play, you know, something like that happens, and there's no way he's going to catch Mitchell. That last play went, or that last drive by Los Al, 5 plays, 80 yards, a minute 15. So they scored in a minute 29. They scored in a minute 15. They scored so quick. Mitchell with a 55-yard touchdown run.
Los Alamitos was the same way last week, just getting their touchdowns in blistering fast drives. That's Easter, and Easter gets over the 25 until around the 27-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Friars. The first quarter statistics, Servite commanding lead in time of possession. Servite's had the ball for 8 minutes and 21 seconds versus 3 minutes and 39 seconds for Los Al, and that is as a result of those blinding fast touchdown drives that they had. Total yards, Los Alamitos 134, Servite 129, so that puts it pretty even, and the score was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter, and now it's 14-7, Los Al ahead.
Add that 55 yards onto that Los Alamitos total yardage really quick, puts him way out in front.
Walker, ball was intended for Easter and went right through his fingers. He should have had that football.
That's really the second pass that Servite has dropped in the last 2 passing attempts, and that's something Servite's going to have to do. They're going to have to catch those wide open passes that they expect to stay in this game. We take a look at it again. Walker just eludes the defense right there. And there's number 21, Easter. He's wide open, has some room to run, but just tries to take off too soon.
Hart Brown was in that backfield again, and he seems to spend most of his time in the Servite backfield. Second down, 10. Walker again is back to pass. Has plenty of time this time. Oh, my Lord, he was hit, and hit hard. It was complete to Kent Weiss, and his clock was cleaned by Brian Havens.
Brian Havens was not fooled this time. Servite tried to go on the misdirection again. Take a look at it. Walker's going to look to his left. Now he's going to swing around to the right, and basically that was an easy play to read for Los Al. They knew something was coming up, and they were right there, and Havens just wised up and just drilled him.
And Vic Martinez also got his 2 cents worth in there also. So it's now 3rd down and 17 yards to go. So that play went for a 7-yard loss, even though it was a completion. And Walker again is back to pass. And that is Parkinson. And Parkinson completes. Parkinson gets the reception, and he goes for a 1st down. Boy, they came up with lightning there on when they really needed it.
Great lot of poise by Servite right there. 3rd and 17. You know they're going to throw the ball. And I'm surprised Los Al didn't do some kind of stunt it. As we take a look at it again, Walker throws a strike to Parkinson, even though he got hit really hard. He was wide open. That's unbelievable. 3rd and 17.
So now it's 1st down and 10. The ball is on the 43-yard line of the Friars. And that is Weiss. Boy, Weiss has some running room. Weiss pulls a good move, and he's finally brought down by Kit McCullough, but Weiss was really outstanding on that run.
That's about the 3rd draw play Servite has called tonight. That's really the only way they're running the ball on the counter and on the delays, and Weiss this time does a really good job again of waiting for the play to develop. A lot of running backs, as soon as they get the ball, will just immediately take off. And watch Weiss. He's going to wait for something to happen, waits for that hole to develop, and he is off to the races. Changes hands, changes the ball in the other hand so it's outside so he doesn't get stripped, so he doesn't cause a fumble, and just a really good play by Servite. Another great call by Toner.
If Kent Weiss has himself an awful lot of speed himself, and if McCullough hadn't gotten him by the jersey, that was 6 points.
Servite should look in his tearaway jerseys right now. Los Al has saved a couple of plays by grabbing onto those jerseys.
Walker again back to pass, and he goes through the fingertips of Parkinson. That's like the 3rd pass tonight that they've been a little bit high, but there was no reason why they should not have been brought back in for a reception.
That ball that was Walker's fault that time. The last couple of passes have been dropped on him, but that time Walker threw the ball just a little bit too high, and that's really where interceptions occur on those little plays. There's a couple of Los Al defenders lurking behind there, waiting for the ball, but just weren't in position to grab that interception.
You talk about interception, that's also, for a receiver's point of view, a place for getting broken ribs.
Once you extend yourself up in the air, you better expect to get hit.
Walker is back to pass. Art Brown is in the backfield again. It is complete and dropped. Who made the catch was Jeff Gardner, and Sean Hooker actually shook that ball loose.
What a great hit by Hooker on that play. He jarred the ball loose, and that was another good pass by Walker, right on the money. And basically, if you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well catch the ball. And that was really almost called a fumble because the back judge on that play was not signaling anything. The line judge had to come up and signal the pass incomplete. The back judge in the left part of your screen right there was really looking for the ball. Either he didn't know where the ball was or he was waiting to call a fumble, but the other line judge came up and called an incomplete pass.
And in addition to that, in that play, Art Brown again was in the secondary, and Rob Walker did a fine job, great poise to get that ball off. Walker again back to pass. And that is complete to Mike Kroll. Chris Weiler on the tackle, but Kroll was wide open.
Kroll once again has 2 or 3 yards buffer between him and the defensive man right there. The Los Al defensive backs, like the Servite defensive backs, are giving the receivers a lot of cushion. Walker did a good job on Brown, keeping him away from Walker, and Kroll caught the ball and just ran upfield. He knew he was close to the 1st down marker, did a nice job, just turned upfield and got that 1st down.
We have 9 minutes left to play in the 1st half. The Servite Friars are driving. The ball is 1st and 10 on the 12-yard line. 14-7, Los Alamitos leads. And Walker again is back to pass. It falls incomplete, and that was in the breadbasket, and it popped right out. Easter was the intended receiver.
That's about the 2nd pass Easter has dropped tonight, and you can't say it enough how you got to catch those balls, especially if you're wide open. It's one thing to be up there with the defensive back on a tough play as you take a look at it again, but that's right there. And Servite right now is finding a hole in that defense. Right now it's in the middle. Before, it was on the sidelines. Los Al made the adjustments defensively towards the sidelines as far as covering those patterns, but now they're weak defensively in the middle.
you kind of shudder to think what this game would be if the Friars would make some of those completions of the balls that are going right into the receiver's hands. That is Weiss. I lost the ball for a period of time, and that's a touchdown for the Friars. What a great fake.
What a great play. It's like the old Statue of Liberty play. Walker did a great job of disguising that. Weiss sitting on the right side of the line, toward the sideline, came right around, and he was wide open and just really waltzed on in for a touchdown.
Let's take a look at that again. That was an outstanding play. Take a look at Walker.
You see, Weiss came right around, and Walker did a great job. The key to the play was Walker setting up, looking as if it was a pass. That dropped every defender back into the end zone, and by the time Weiss gets the ball and people react to that, he's home free.
What an impressive touchdown run and a great play. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 8 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first half, the Servite Friars have tied up the football game. It's 14-14.
A great drive by Servite that time. They had some key plays. 3rd and 17. They completed a first down. They did a good job that time towards the defense, keeping Hart Brown out of the backfield.
So the score, as you can see, 14-14, and we will be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back 14-14, and Rob Walker of Servite is 11 for 19 for 137 yards, and we still have 8 minutes to play in this second quarter. The kick is a bouncer. Milan has the football. Milan going straight ahead and makes the 30-yard line.
That last drive for Servite went 9 plays for 72 yards, 2:36 time and possession right there. So Servite came back and scored quickly themselves.
And it tied up this football game, and Servite is a very impressive football team. They did not get the press of being that good of a football team to start the season, but I'll tell you, I'm impressed with this team.
I am too. They're showing a lot of poise right now. Los Al, one of the highly ranked teams in the county, if not in the southern section, and Servite's hanging right with them.
Grignano, that's Tyler Cashman, and Cashman has the reception for a short 4-yard gain, and Ordonez made the tackle.
Great play by Ordonez right there. That's the defensive job they need to do. They need to come up very quickly on those wide receivers and stop that play from really being a 7 to 10 yard play.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Seal Beach Cable Communications Foundation, funding local programs for the residents and community of Seal Beach. Grignano sweeping to the right. Grignano keeping the ball, and Grignano gets inside, gets over the 40-yard line to with a 42, and who pushed him out of bounds was Brent Boznansky.
Grignano showing a little bit of speed right there as a quarterback, something you're going to need in Division I. You're going to have to be able to roll out and make the play, and that time nothing developed. As you take a look at it again, Grignano looking this time, seeing that he has a hole around the right side, he immediately takes off and beat everybody for the first down.
Los Alamitos huddle. And Grignano seeming quite pensive as he's walking to the line of scrimmage. Mitchell cuts in, and Mitchell goes all the way into Friar territory, and enough for a first down.
Good job by the Servite defense that time. They turned Mitchell inside, something you need to do. When you have a speed burner like Mitchell, you got to turn him inside. But Salazar, Quinn, Wallach, the linebackers have to be there to give support. Watch the play again. Mitchell turns inside. Right there is where the support needs to be. If the linebackers aren't there, Mitchell gets the kind of gain that he got right there. If the linebackers are there, they stop the play for no gain.
And great work by Engelhop, Underwood, Garrido, Houston, and Croft, the offensive line of the Griffins. Tyler Cashman, right over the center, gets the ball, dropped on the 32-yard line by John Cassidy.
Another great pass by Grignano right there, a little slanting pattern. Mitchell right now on that last carry, that gives him 5 carries for 115 yards, a 23-yard average. Milan on that, or excuse me, Cashman on that play, just a simple slant pattern. Grignano with a 2-3-step drop back.
One each, baby.
And it's just an easy pass to complete.
Timeout on the field called by Servite. And the water people are going out to the respective huddles. And they are the cheerleaders of the Griffins. And as you can see from Comcast Sports, Servite 14, Los Alamitos 14.
Servite Friars right now are going to have to make some kind of adjustment defensively against Mitchell. You can't allow a running back to have a 23-yard average per carry against you. And right now they've done the job on the corners, as we saw in the one quick out that they ran. Ordonez did a good job of stopping that play, but right now against the run, Servite has shown a lot of weak spots, and Mitchell is right now having a field day.
But nonetheless, we are tied 14-14. So even though Mitchell is eating up an awful lot of yardage for the Griffins, the same can be true of Weiss. Weiss is coming right back for Servite. Grignano tonight is 9 for 4 out of 14 pass attempts. He has 9 completions for 96 yards. Milan is 5 for 56. Cashman is 4 for 40. So only 2 receivers so far.
And that should be a key to the Servite defenders right there. Those are the 2 main receivers. Those are the 2 people they should key on.
That's Laquan Becton. Laquan Becton, who has been hurt, who's had an ankle injury and did not play last week, is now in the football game. And Laquan Becton is an outstanding football player. It comes from a football family. His brother, Frank Becton, was one of the starters a couple of years ago, and we're very pleased to see Laquan Becton in this football game.
2nd and 5 right here for the Griffins. A chance to do a lot of things. They can come back. It'll still be 3rd and short. You might look for Losell to try and get something in the end zone right here, but Grignano's going to call a timeout.
Timeout on the field, and as we were talking about Laquan Becton, now Los Alamitos has the backfield that they had penciled in at the beginning of the season. Laquan Becton at fullback and Eric Mitchell at tailback.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Right now, they're going to talk to Grignano, find out, asking some questions regarding the sideline right now, but really nothing to it. Losell running the ball up the field at will. Servite as well, doing a great job offensively right now. This game's going to come down, if we keep up the same pace as we have, it's going to come down to who's going to have the final possession of the game right here. And the game is tied, and whoever has the ball last is going to win this football game.
Boy, it sure looks like that, the way things have been going. We got 6 minutes and 37 seconds left in this first half. We're tied up. Both offenses seem to be doing a pretty darn good job, and it seems like the defenses are having a great deal of trouble handling the run.
Definitely problems handling the run. Servite is baffled right now. They're so worried about Grignano and those quick outs to Milan and Cashman that they've really depleted their running defense at all. And Mitchell, you know, averaging 23 yards per carry, is having a field day. They're going to have to try and play man-to-man on those wideouts and concentrate the 8 other people on Mitchell and that run.
Collins, the man in motion. Grignano still has the football. The ball was intended for Milan. I don't know if Milan got turned around or Grignano missed his mark, but the ball falls harmlessly incomplete.
Good job by John Cassidy that time on Milan. Did a good job of defense. Grignano threw the ball a little more inside, and Cassidy really prevented the wide receiver from getting to that football. He had good position on that play, and the ball went incomplete.
6 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first half. Los Alamitos is 1 for 3 on 3rd down efficiency. Collins is in motion. And Grignano still has the football, and Grignano just tucks the ball in and goes straight ahead, and he is brought down.
Good defensive surge by Servite right there. They stunted, they got some pressure inside, and they beat the Los Alamitos offensive lineman to the quarterback, and they're going to need to do that more than just once tonight to be effective on defense.
Adam Tayabas was the one who made the tackle, and we're now with a 4th down play. 4th and 7, the ball on the 29-yard line, and there is that play again. You see Grignano just tucks the ball in as the whole play disintegrated, and he just went straight ahead.
Mike Garman, number 66, did a nice job of coming to the outside, forcing Grignano back into the pocket.
The Los Alamitos Griffins are going for it. They throw the ball. It falls incomplete. A nice defensive play by Ordonez as he knocked the ball loose as it was intended for Chad Milan, and Los Alamitos turns the ball over.
That was a tough play for Milan right there. He had to turn the other way. The ball was thrown behind him, and Ordonez was right there to make a nice play. We'll take a look at it again. Grignano faking like he's going to run the ball, then throws the pass, and it's right behind Milan. You see Milan has to turn the other way. He's going inside toward the field, not toward the sideline. That ball's behind him. If it leads him, it's going to be an easy completion and a 1st down.
5 minutes and 57 seconds left. 14-14 tie, and Servite now has the ball as they've taken it over on downs. Walker back to pass. It is complete. And he falls out of bounds on the 40-yard line. Chris Weiler was responsible for the tackle, and the reception was made by Mike Kroll.
I'll tell you, both coaches right now, Toner and Barnes, are doing a great job of keeping one step ahead of the opponent's defenses. Servite last time down really found the soft spot was in the middle. So figuring that Los Al will adjust to the middle on defense on their pass coverage, first play, first down, they throw toward the sideline, and they get about 12 yards.
Walker taking his time, and again is back to pass. Hart Brown is pushing him out of the pocket. What a nice catch by Sean Easter. One-handed brings that ball in.
A lot of athletic ability right there by Easter. Really, that pass could have been incomplete, and instead of 2nd and 10, 2nd and long, now it's going to be 2nd and 5, and Easter just made a really nice catch.
Aaron Garrido was defending on the play, but there was nothing he could do on a catch like that.
That's just good athletic ability, and all the praise goes to the offensive man.
Here's a replay of this. I'd like to see that again, the way Sean brought it in with his left hand. Oh, my. What a nice reception. 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this first half. Walker still has that football. The ball is thrown incomplete to Jeff Gardner.
What a great call by Servite that time. And Walker is really the person that's making these plays come together. The misdirections, the play fakes, the rollouts. He is disguising the plays so well that the Los Al defensive backs cannot pick up the play. The two strong safeties, watch him hide the ball, and as he rolls out, the Los Al defensive backs are slow to cover that ball. The wide receiver's wide open. Number 4 for Los Al, Kit McCullough, is nowhere to be seen on that play, and really, like the Servite defensive backs, we've said it before, where the two safeties for Los Al are 15, 17 yards off the ball, and they should be coming up closer. Servite does not have that kind of speed on the wideouts. They can come in closer, play a little tighter defense.
Timeout called by Rob Walker, and you know, there's something which is also very interesting happening on this drive and also the previous drive. Servite is not running.
Servite's not running at all right now. They've thrown a couple of passes to their backs, and they're really doing a good job. Hart Brown has been a problem in the backfield. They're doing a good job of keying on him. If he rushes to the outside, the offensive linemen push him all the way outside, and Walker steps into the middle of a pocket to avoid the rush. If he shoots inside, he rolls out. He's got more time to throw, and he's doing a good job of hitting those open receivers and disguising the plays.
You know, it seems like with all of this passing that's going on, and with this whole drive, there has not been one rushing play. It seems like a great setup for a draw play very, very shortly. They've got to be playing soft in the center.
Very shortly right now. They're worried about the sidelines right now. Servite has run about 3 or 4 draw plays already here in the first half, and it's really a good call not to do anything right now because that's really been their most successful run play. And besides the Statue of Liberty play that Weiss ran for that touchdown, so we'll see what Servite calls here, 1st and 10.
4 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first half. The score is tied 14-14, and Los Al has their hands full. 1st and 10. Walker still has the ball. It is complete to Parkinson.
Great.
Chris Weiler made the tackle.
Excuse me, Danny. Another nice job by Walker disguising the play. And right now, the Los Alamitos linebackers are having a problem picking out the running back and the tight end. The running backs coming out of the backfield are the responsibility of the linebackers on pass coverage. The linebackers are not taking their proper drops. They're not covering their zones, and they're getting beat. Parkinson at tight end, the running backs are having field days in the middle and the short patterns. As we take a look at it again, he's the responsibility of the linebacker. There you see Havens nowhere to be seen, and the defensive lineman comes back and makes that tackle.
1st down and 10. The ball is on the 15-yard line. Servite is knocking at the door again. And there's your run. That's Kent Weiss. And Weiss is still alive, and Weiss is inside the 5-yard line. A great run as he's juking back and forth.
Weiss has shown there's more than one great running back in this game today. Eric Mitchell, highly touted from Los Al, but Weiss is making a name for himself right here against that Los Al defense.
Kit McCullough had to make the tackle, and when you start having the secondary, there he is. You can see him all the way into the secondary of Los Alamitos, and Kit McCullough comes up with the tackle. They're just blowing past the defensive line.
Weiss did a nice job right there. Got hit a couple of times, but had the presence of mind not to go down until he was gang tackled.
Servite in their power backfield and that's Easter, and Easter going straight ahead, and that's a touchdown for Servite, and Servite takes the lead.
Two great hard running plays, first by Wise, the next time by Easter, and just good hard-nosed running over the defenders, knowing where they have to go, getting every yard they possibly can, and that time just a great job by the running back, that time Sean Easter.
And that's a great block by Mike Wallach on the linebacker that sprung Sean Easter as he just waltzed right into the end zone for the Friars. Sean Kane attempting the point after touchdown. It is up, and it's good. So with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half, Servite is ahead 21-14.
I'll tell you, Danny, this game reminds me of the great shootouts San Diego and Miami had. Fouts against Marino, and we got another good crapshoot going here today. Walker against Gregnano, and I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with the Servite Friars right now. Not only coming back down 14-7 and taking the lead by 7 points, they have all the confidence in the world offensively.
Well, they might have, I don't know how they approached this football game against Los Alamitos. They had to know Los Alamitos was rated #1 in the Orange County newspapers, but they surely are not shying away from them. As a matter of fact, they're giving Los Alamitos all they can handle and much more.
Head coach Toner for Servite did a great job of preparing this team, probably with the attitude, hey, we got nothing to lose tonight. Let's do some things. Let's prepare for the Angeles League. And not only is this, keeping Servite in the game for tonight, but this is a great confidence builder for the season coming up.
We just saw Eric Mitchell on the screen. The ball is kicked to Chad Milan as he picks it up on the 8-yard line. Milan going straight ahead. Well, Milan breaks the tackle and goes over the 30-yard line, and he's brought down on the 32-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 for Los Alamitos.
That time Kane tried to kick the ball into the end zone on a line, but got it too low, and those are really the most dangerous kicks to cover all those line drives, because they get to the receiver right away, and they have a chance to really break something big.
Gregnano pitching to Mitchell. And Mitchell tries to go inside this time, and he just couldn't do it. Greg Fish brought him down.
That was a good job right there. That time when Mitchell turned inside, the support was there, and they brought him down for really his shortest run of the night of 4 yards, which is still a good run.
Second down, 7 yards to go. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half, and the clock continues to run. Backfield of Fuentes and Mitchell. Gregnano still has the ball, and he throws just a bullet to Chad Milan, but Milan could not hold on to the ball.
Milan that time, a good pass by Gregnano, kept it away from the defender. That was really the proper place to throw the ball, and we've seen really both receiving corps on both offensive sides of the football drop a lot of passes tonight. Take a look at it again. That ball is a beautiful spiral right away from the defender. You couldn't throw it at any better of a spot, and Milan just needs to catch that ball.
And number 8, Ariel Ordonez, the cornerback for Servite, doing a fine job defending on Chad Milan. The whole evening he's been doing this. Gregnano sees the whole play break down in front of him, and he still has the ball as he's sweeping to the left, puts it up, and he overthrows Tyler Cashman, who was the closest Griffin to that football.
Billy Ray, number 31 for Servite, did a great job. Los Al tried that little slant in pattern. They scored a touchdown on that play. Milan from the bottom of your screen does a little slant pattern toward the middle of the field, and that time they cut that play off. They anticipated it. They were right in the middle. Watch. Gregnano looking for Milan right there, and he's cut off. 41, Wallach and Ray were right there to cut him off, and Gregnano was just forced to throw the ball deep and just threw it over the head of everybody.
Boy, the fans on the other side of the field, which are the Servite fans, are now starting to get really into this football game as they're yelling and screaming. Cashman kicks the ball up. It's a lazy kick. It hits on the 38-yard line, takes a Los Alamitos bounce, and it's finally brought down on the 34-yard line.
So right now, Servite getting a lot of confidence. Each series, they get more and more confidence. They get the feeling they can beat this Los Al team. And if they can march another drive and get some more points here, you see Gregnano there on the sideline a little bit discouraged on that last series. If Servite can get some points in, run out the clock before halftime. Remember, Servite deferred the kickoff, so they really have the option and will take the ball coming for the start of the third quarter. So if they use the clock well and can get some points, they'll get 2 straight possessions.
2 minutes and 16 seconds left in this first half.
What a hole.
That happens to be Weiss, and Weiss just bulldozing his way and tiptoeing all the way up to the center of the field.
Weiss once again on the draw play. That's the fourth draw they've run here in the first half. All of them have been successful. Weiss that time coming up a little limp right there, but did a nice job. The hole developed, and LaSalle, it's unbelievable how you can be deceptive to that draw play over and over again. And Weiss shows a little speed, and right behind Christensen, who's 270 pounds, Weiss can really hide behind that offensive tackle and kind of pick another spot to run through.
21-14, Servite with a surprising lead as we're getting near the end of the first half of football. We have a little bit more than 2 minutes left to play, and there is Coach John Barnes and Barry Scher of the Griffins. Walker back to pass. Walker has his man, and it is complete on the 46-yard line. And that was Mike Kroll who made the reception. Chris Weiler is the one that put him out of bounds.
Kroll doing a nice job. What Servite's doing right now to keep Hart Brown out of the backfield, they're using a defensive tackle on him as he runs to the side. The running backs are cutting Brown as he comes into the backfield. That's cutting the legs out from under him, and he's not getting anywhere near Walker. And right now, LaSalle is going to have to make some adjustments. They're going to have to bring everybody, do some stunts, and try and put some pressure on Walker, make him rush his pass.
Walker again back to pass. And that is complete to John Gardner. Nope, it drops out of his hands. The ball was intended for John Gardner.
Walker hit him right on stride that time, and as Gardner kept running towards the sideline, he could have had another big game, but another great pass by Walker, and once again, a lot of time to throw.
We have 1 minute and 44 seconds left in this first half, 21-14. Third down, 3 yards to go. And Servite is 4 for 5 in third down efficiency. That is a very efficient machine on offense.
Anytime you're 80% in anything in football, you're doing a great job. And against this LaSalle defense, that's even more spectacular.
Walker chooses not to run and is intercepted by Sean Hooker. They dodge a bullet. Sean Hooker comes up. It was a pass that was just widely overthrown.
Walker that time a poor throw, and he's just hitting himself in the helmet as he walks off the field right now. He knew he made a mistake right there. If we take a look at it again, either this ball is meant for the receiver or he's trying to just throw it over everybody, because it's really nowhere near the receiver that he's intended for right there.
It was intended for Parkinson, but he, like you say, Neil, he was at least 5 yards over his head.
And I think what he was trying to do is he was trying just to throw that ball out of everybody's reach and didn't throw it far enough.
Gragnano gets out of his own backfield. He still has the ball. He's still on his feet. He goes all the way forward to around the 24-yard line. To run a 5-yard gain for Todd Gragnano.
The clock keeps ticking away as we come down to the 1 minute mark. Gragnano that time a good job of scrambling, but Servite doing a better job adjusting and getting some pressure.
That's Chad Milan. A great pass from Gragnano to Chad Milan. Oh, was that beautiful.
That's that same slant pattern. This time Cassidy was right there, but this time it was a better thrown ball, and the linebacker didn't take that usual drop to block that play off. Cassidy really has no chance on that play unless he gets some help from his linebackers.
Gragnano again back to pass with a no-huddle offense. The ball was intended for Tyler Cashman. It was thrown a little bit low. Defending on the play was Billy Ray.
Ray, a nice job that time. Dove, try to get that interception right now. 55 seconds left to go in the first half. LaSalle really has to be concerned with not trying to do too much, or Gragnano trying to fit that ball in between 3 defenders. They can't afford to let Servite get another chance at a possession before the end of this half.
Second down and 10 yards to go. Backfield of Fuentes and Mitchell, and Gragnano again back to pass, and that is Mitchell. Mitchell is just too fast for his own feet. He just ran out from under himself.
It's tough to keep enough turf underneath his feet to keep him going that time. He was looking to put some moves on the backfield that time and just slipped and fell. Otherwise, he might have, who knows what he could have done on that play.
He's sure been electrifying up till now. And there's timeout on the field, and I believe it's called by Servite. Is it called by Servite? It is called by Servite. So we have 49 seconds left in this first half. Boy, this has been one exciting first half of football.
Up and down the field, the total yardage, as we get the halftime stats, and the total yardage is going to be well into the maybe 200-300 just for the first half. And usually that's a goal for high school football in a total game. to get maybe 250, 300 yards, and both teams are near that mark tonight already in the first half. This timeout right now by Servite is a defensive timeout to make sure they got their positions settled, make sure the coverages are right, make sure we're reading the right things. Let's not get burned on some stupid plays. Also, just a chance, let's not get any stupid personal foul penalties. No spearing. Let's not add 15 yards to their attack already by a stupid foul. And it's a good timeout by Servite. Let's collectively get a rest here because it's tough on the defense right now to keep rushing the passer time after time after time. And we'll see right now what Servite calls a good chance for a stunt right here, 1st and 10.
And the same thing holds true for Coach Barnes as he's talking to his offensive unit. You know, drive upfield, but don't do anything stupid that's going to give 6 points to the opposition. And that's Mitchell. And Mitchell turns, going laterally, turns the corner, and he gets all the way up to the 40-yard line of Servite.
But I tell you, I can just feel the Servite fans right there. Every time Mitchell puts his hands on the ball, they take a big gulp and a big breath, hoping that Mitchell doesn't do something. And right there, Servite did a good job, if you can say, did a good job of holding Mitchell to about 12, 15 yards on that run.
They placed the ball on the 43-yard line, so undoubtedly he went out of bounds at that point. Grignano still has the football as he's pushed out of the pocket. It is a wonderful reception by Cashman if they give it to him, and they do. Great concentration by Tyler Cashman.
A great catch by Cashman. Grignano quickly calling the timeout with 31 seconds to go. And Los Al trying to get some points on the board. Even a field goal will be helpful right now.
Let's take a look at this previous play. Grignano is orchestrating Cashman. Cashman has the ball, bobbles it. As he's going down, he brings it in. Great concentration, Neil.
Great concentration. That's what a receiver has to do. It's amazing. We've seen a lot of great catches tonight, and we've also seen some really easy passes being dropped. It's amazing just the difference on the scale of difficult to easy and what has happened tonight. Grignano, that's a tough pass for a quarterback, left-handed, rolling the other direction, and he threw a real fine ball.
We have 31 seconds of football left in the first half. Los Alamitos driving upfield. The ball is on the 38-yard line. It's 2nd down and 4.
Right now,
long 4.
Excuse me, Danny. Right now, you can take a look at the ball's on the 38. 2 safeties are on the 20 right now. They don't want to get beat for a touchdown.
That is John Collins, wide open, and Collins goes out of bounds on the 19-yard line. Boy, there was no one near him.
A great pass by Grignano. He threw the ball very early, knew where the receiver was going to be. The receiver turned around. The ball was waiting for him right there. And the safeties are 18 to 20 yards off the ball, but the corners can be a little closer than that. As soon as the play develops, the corners are just basically running back to the end zone, trying to cover, you know, whatever thing's deep, and they're really susceptible to the short pass.
Grignano again back to pass. And Grignano keeps the ball, and he's going straight ahead. Tiptoes through one guy, and he's down to the 6-yard line.
The clock will stop. For every first down, the clock will stop. They'll move the chain. 16 seconds left. Los Al trying to hurry up, trying to call a play.
Los Al in their no-huddle offense. 16 seconds, as you said, Neil. Ball is thrown up, and it's overthrown, and it was intended for Chad Milan, but that's no problem at all because it did stop the clock. There is 15 seconds left.
And that's all Grignano wanted to do right there. He wanted to stop the clock, not waste the timeout. We don't know. We don't have the timeouts calculated up here. We don't know if Los Al has any timeouts left. I believe they have at least one timeout left. So, but that time he didn't want to waste a timeout. If they decide to run the ball and they don't get in the end zone, they're going to need to call a timeout.
2nd down and goal. Cashman to the right, Milan to the left. There's flags all over the play, and it's been whistled dead.
We might have a procedure penalty against Los Al, or Servite could have lined up offsides, and they lined up in the neutral zone. It'll be offsides against Servite.
Okay, so...
Dead ball encroachment on the white.
Can we get some time on the clock?
And as you heard, it was a foul on the white, and Todd Grignano asked for time on the clock. That's the 10th play of this drive, and it's only taken a...
The play should not have happened because it was an incomplete pass and a penalty was thrown at the beginning of that pass. No time should have ticked off.
Where do you get 16?
And so right now they're trying to talk to the clock person to get him to roll back 5 seconds. That's a big 5 seconds for Los Al right now as they go for the 10th play on this drive in only a minute 25.
And when you're a third-year quarterback and you've been in the trenches as long as Todd Gregnano, and he has the poise of knowing what is going on that field, what a heads-up play to ask that referee for the extra 5 seconds.
And that's what a senior should do. And that's when you lead your football team. As you see Servite up by 7 right now. When you lead your football team, those are the kind of things you're looking for. And those are the kind of things college scouts are looking for. What type of leader is this quarterback? What type of poise and persona does that quarterback have on the football field? Is he just a thrower? Is he just an athlete? Or does he have a brain that can think and do the little things that helps the team win football games?
I saw in last week's football game Todd Gregnano throwing a ball out of bounds, just throwing the ball away. And tonight also shows me that the poise that he is, just like you say, what they look for in Division I football.
We talked about, we just handed our stats by our cracked stat crew. We talked about how both teams are close to the 300 mark, and Los Al right now 304 yards of total offense to Servite's 294. So right now 598 yards of total offense in the first half.
Before we start, baby, and as soon as that ball snaps, okay, baby. I want to explain to you so you knew.
What they're going to do right now is I think the referee is telling the other quarterback, he is going to count to 5.
I can't set it back on there. All right, now wait for my whistle. It was a dead ball.
The referee is going to count 5 before they start the clock, even though the play will be in motion. Gregnano back to pass. Gregnano has the ball. Gregnano goes straight ahead, and Gregnano gets all the way in for a touchdown. It doesn't matter about the 5 seconds right now.
Great running by Gregnano right there. Put his head down and, like a running back, ran over the defensive man and got in the end zone.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, that is fabulous. The Los Alamitos is now 1 point shy of tying up this game. There's the replay. Gregnano has the ball, tucks it in, and just puts his helmet over the goal line and makes the touchdown.
A great offensive drive by Los Al right there. Gets them tied before halftime if this extra point is up and good, and it is. And that's a big play for Los Al to go in tied because, as we stated before, Servite will get the ball to start the second half.
There's 10 seconds left in the first half, and as you can see, the game is all tied up at 21. There's Coach John Barnes on the sideline talking to his Los Alamitos Griffins, and I'm sure he's quite relieved that they have tied up the football game, and I think he's got to be very impressed with the offensive unit of how they took charge and just in under 2 minutes went all the way down for the score. That was 10 plays, 81 yards, under 2 minutes. I wasn't even close, only a minute and 26 seconds. Thank you, Brian Henderson.
Right now, Los Al's going to kick the ball off, and as they do, they'll probably squib kick it. You don't want a big return against you right now. You don't want Servite to have good field position and try and maybe run one more play before halftime. So just a squib kick, make a lineman field the ball, and run out the rest of the first half.
Ordonez and Easter. They're back deep to receive the kick by Eric Wallace. The kick is a squib kick, just as you alluded to. Neil, it is picked up by Ordonez, and he just falls right down on it on the 18-yard line. So, with 10 seconds left, Servite takes over the football, 1st and 10.
All right. Yeah, right there, as the referee says, you might as well try and get a play out of that. When you're on your own 18-yard line, the clock doesn't stop until the receiver touches the football. You might as well try and get some yards. Try and get the ball maybe to the 30, 35-yard line so you have a chance, because now the clock's just going to start because there's no change, because there's no timeout, and that's going to end the first half.
Good half of football.
And that's exactly what has happened, and that is the gun. So at the end of the first half, Los Alamitos 21, Servite 21, and what an exciting football game we have today. 21-21, as you can see, Comcast Sports has brought to you a phenomenal first half of football. And as Neil has told us in just a few moments ago, we have way over 600 yards of offense in this first half. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
Comcast gives you something to cheer about. All the sports you can ask for, whatever's your favorite. From the court to the canvas to covering the field, the action's fast, furious, and hard-hitting. With exclusive live coverage of major events. From Wimbledon to championship boxing. From Sunday night football to Stanley Cup hockey. You've got the ringside seat others are paying a bundle for. People who love sports love Comcast.
This is the increasingly competitive world we live in, and this is the country we want ahead of the competition. These are the people we'll be depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. These are the colleges and universities we're relying on for the people we're depending on to keep this country ahead of the competition. So if you want America to stay number one in the world, do something about it. Give to the college of your choice.
Where does he get his information about drugs, alcohol, and sex? One day he's a child, and the next he's making decisions that could risk his life. It's a helpless feeling for a parent because you can't always be with him to keep him safe. But you can teach him how to be safe, and those words will stay with him, even when you can't.
We can help you talk about AIDS. Call for a guide.
Thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece okay, Claire.
But Vince...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But Vince...
No more dashboard du jour or Vince under glass, huh?
But Vince...
Look out!
Even with airbags, Vince, you still got to remember to buckle your safety belt.
Now you tell me.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Okay, as you can see, the score is 21-21, and there's the moon and its bewitching hour. Neil, it just seems like the offenses showed up and the defenses did not. It's been an offensive show. Both teams around 300 yards of offense. It's been a heck of an exciting show.
Oh, it's been a great first half. This rivals the NFL or NCAA or anyway. You can't ask for a better first half of action. Both coaches are doing a great job adjusting to each other's defense. They find a weak spot, and then when they come back on their next possession, they realize that both coaches are going to make some adjustments, and they go right back and find another weak spot.
It seems like Kent Weiss is doing just an outstanding job at running back for Servite. Needless to say, Eric Mitchell is doing an outstanding job for Los Alamitos. Greg Nano and Walker at quarterbacks for the respective teams. They're finding their receivers. Where is the defense?
Well, right now, both sides of the defense, in the safeties and in the cornerbacks, are playing way off the wideouts right now. The safeties are lining up 15, 18 yards off the line of scrimmage. Cornerbacks are 8 to 10 yards off. And what the offense is doing is they're doing slant patterns, they're doing little post-in patterns, and they're really wide open. By the time the ball's in the air and the defense has a chance to react, the receiver's caught the ball, and he's got a first down, and in some cases, touchdowns.
We had a lot of scoring in the first half. We had a total of 6 touchdowns. We're going to give you 3 of the touchdowns we're going to show on the screen. The first one was the 55-yard scamper by Eric Mitchell.
This was a great run by Mitchell. He has such outstanding speed. He turns the ball inside, and once he gets into the open field, he is just gone right now. Servite safety, I think it was Easter, who fell down on the play, was really the last person who had a chance. He slipped, and Cassidy had no way of catching him.
And that touchdown put Los Alamitos ahead by a touchdown, and at that point in time, it was 14-7. And then in the second quarter, another outstanding play, and this time it was by Easter of Servite. He had a 4-yard run.
Easter showed some gutty running. It was the second run of that drive. They had about 8 or 9 plays on the drive. It was only the second time they had rushed the ball. Easter puts his head down, gets himself into the end zone, and that was such a big play for Servite to come back from 14-7 and go ahead 21-14.
And then the last touchdown of the half, Todd Gregnano with a 2-yard run, and that was a gutsy call.
Gutsy call, and Gregnano showed some hard-nosed running of his own. He ran over 2 Servite defenders and just dove for that goal line and got in to tie the score.
And as we can see, the score is 21-21. Los Alamitos Servite really locked into a dogfight. And before we go to the halftime ceremonies, anything you have to add, Neil?
Well, I just hope both defensive coaches are making some adjustments at halftime, because right now the offense is going to have a field day. I know Vegas had the over and under for about 46, 47, and there's no way
it's going to hold.
Hope you bet the farm on the over tonight.
For sure. Okay, the score is 21-21. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Watch us for exclusive productions you'll never see anywhere else. Original dramas and made-for-cable movies brought to you by HBO and Comcast. Hard-hitting documentaries that give you unusual insights into today's real world. And compelling down-to-earth series the networks would never show you. For one-of-a-kind exclusive and original programs, nobody brings it home like HBO and Comcast.
Somewhere a child lies crying. Somewhere an old man shivers in the dark. Somewhere a family's dreams burn to the ground. Somewhere somebody needs help. Please support your local Red Cross. There is a need in your hometown because somewhere is closer than you think.
I was going to take a job with that engineering firm in New York. I got a better offer. I'm building schools overseas with the Peace Corps. The pace is a little slower than New York, but here I'm getting grassroots experience I couldn't get anywhere else. The way I look at it, the world can wait 2 years for another 40-story smoked glass high-rise.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
21-21, Comcast Sports bringing you exciting high school football. And there you have a beautiful view of the halftime ceremonies. The Los Alamitos band, the flags, the drill team putting on a wonderful ceremony to all the fans from Servite and Los Alamitos. And I believe we have on the field right now for halftime stats and a halftime analysis, Willie Padilla. Come on in, Willie.
Thank you very much, Danny and Neil. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned that these were two of the most prestigious programs in the Southland, Servite and Los Alamitos. Now let's tell you a little bit about how these teams have done in 1989 in their respective divisions. Servite comes out of Division 1. Last week, in the first week of the season, they were unranked. First time in oh so many years that they have gone unranked. Now they break into the top 15, but let's let you know about Division 1 and how the other teams. First, you'll see that Fontana is number 1 in Division 1, as you see, 1 through 10, the only teams to lose in their opening week of competition. Rubidoux defeated Bishop Amat, knocking Amat from number 3 to number 7, and Mater Dei lost to Fountain Valley, knocking them from number 6 down to number 9. Servite, which was unranked a week ago, now moves into the top 15, which basically means they're one of the top 5 teams outside of the top 10. Also tops in Division 1. In leagues, you've got to look at the Citrus Belt League, where 6 out of their 8 teams are in the top 15. Only 2 schools are not that are in the Citrus Belt League. That's Moreno Valley and Colton. As for where Los Alamitos is in Division 3, well, this is an important game for them because with a victory, they will stay at least number 2 in Division 3. A loss, well, they're going to come down a little bit. Servite will go up in Division 1. Let's take a look at Division 3. Paramount number 1, and we all know about Paramount. That's the team that dealt Los Alamitos the championship loss in 1988 by a score of 30-20. On down the list, you'll see the top 10. Only one team lost in that top 10 this week, and that was Edison defeating El Medina by a final of 24-14. But what's really going to tell us how good these teams are how they play this week when they play different foes. And some of these teams really have some big games coming up, especially schools such as Fontana that play San Fernando Valley. Edison plays Capo Valley. This is Division 1. Capo Valley, Division 3's number 8 team. Huntington Beach, which is number 8 in Division 1, plays Pacifica, Division 6's number 8 team. And last but not least, Mater Dei plays Tustin, Division 6 top 12. As for the Division 3 teams, well, as you know, Los Alamitos this week is playing Servite. Well, let's take a look at some of the other teams that are playing in Division 3, some of the top teams. Paramount playing Catella. They're from the Empire League. They're in the top 14. Of course, Los Al playing Servite. El Toro will play Fountain Valley, Division 1, number 6 team. Edison plays Capistrano Valley number 8, and Edison Division 1, number 2. And finally, El Medina, who lost to Edison last week, now plays Sunny Hills Division 6, number 1 team. So a lot of schools have big games in the pre-league, and of course, that'll get them to their regular season play. Of course, the most important part is making it to the CIF playoffs. Well, that's a look as to how the two teams do in their respective divisions. I'm Willie Padilla. That's a look from down here. The score at halftime, 21-21. Danny and Neil will be back with exciting second half action in a moment.
Comcast gives you something to cheer about. All the sports you can ask for, whatever's your favorite. From the court to the canvas to covering the field, the action's fast, furious, and hard-hitting, with exclusive live coverage of major events. From Wimbledon to championship boxing, from Sunday night football to Stanley Cup hockey, you've got the ringside seat others are paying a bundle for. People who love sports love Comcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it's 21-21 Servite and Los Alamitos tied up in a dogfight, and tonight's game is brought to you by the Seal Beach Cable Communications Foundation, funding local programs for the residents and community of Seal Beach, and we're very proud to be a part of all of that. And thank you, folks, for bringing on this wonderful football game to each and every one of you, and we're just moments away from the kickoff. Los Alamitos will be now kicking off to Servite. Los Alamitos from your left, kicking off to Servite, who will be defending the south goal.
So we take a look at some of the first half stats that we have brought to us by our crack stat crew. They've done a wonderful job tonight. First down, 16 and 16 rushing yards. Los Alamitos with a big advantage, 162 to 93. But passing yards, Servite, what an amazing stat. 200 yards passing in the first half. That's just unbelievable. Total yards, 305 to 293. And really, I'm just really impressed with Walker and the Servite offense. They've really done a great job of, showing a lot of poise on offense and coming back against this highly ranked Griffin team.
They've done a wonderful job picking apart that very young secondary of Los Alamitos. And not only are they throwing to their wide receivers, they're throwing an awful lot to their backs out of the backfield. And the coach is just kind of juggling all the plays up. That is now to Ordonez. Ordonez has picked up the ball, going straight ahead, sweeping to the right, and boy, is he brought down by Brian Havens.
Havens, a great job that time, shot through the seam, and Ordonez was looking for a place to run, and before he could really do anything, Havens was right on top of him.
Los Alamitos' defense gets onto the field, and now it'll be the offense of Servite who will be taking over the ball. Rob Walker in at quarterback and doing just an outstanding job. Fabulous statistics in the first half as he's led the Servite Friars to a 21-21 tie. The question is, will they come out throwing again? And that they do. Hart Brown again in the backfield. Hart Brown puts him down for a sack. Hart Brown has been in that backfield all afternoon, and this time he straight-armed him, put an arm out, and just brought Rob Walker down to his knees.
Great job by Brown. That was a stunt that time. He lined up inside, went around the other end. As we take a look at it again, he goes in untouched, and just a nice job right there. Walker tried to elude him, and he just kind of pushed him down, and Walker just fell down. But that time, what they've been doing with the defensive tackles, they've had a running back on Brown, cut his legs, and that's been keeping him out of the backfield. That time there was no back on that side, and Brown just came right in.
Second down, 14 yards to go, and the ball is on the 11-yard line, deep in Servite territory. And Walker again back to pass. They've two men on Hart Brown, as you can see on the screen, and that ball is complete to Mike Kroll, and Kroll is brought down by Marco Dominguez.
We have the advantage of being up here. It's tough for the defensive cornerback to really take a look, but that time Walker, one of the few times he's really eyeballed his primary receiver the whole way, and the receiver on this play, as you take a look at him, really does a stutter step and try and turn around, and the cornerback way off the ball. Number 20 on that play for Los Alamitos is Marco Dominguez, and that time he gave the receiver too much room.
So now we're at third down and 7. The ball is on the 28-yard line. Excuse me, on the 24-yard line. Walker back to pass. Wide open is Gardner. And Gardner has the first down, and he's brought down by Dominguez and Sean Hooker. And McCall is in that also.
And a nice job by Gardner, the wideout for Servite. What he does is he takes his man up the field, and then he cuts in. Number 2, Chris Weiler, gives him about 5 yards as we take a look at it again. And by the time he cuts in, there's no way the defensive back has a chance to react. You see Weiler trailing the play, but it's too late for a first down, and it was a good call on second down. They didn't try and get all of the yardage back, all 19 yards. They got about 12, made it 3rd and 7, and it was much easier to pick up the first down.
And Servite continues to eat up yardage in the air and totally forgetting the gun, and that is Alan Reduta. Alan Reduta came in and just put Rob Walker into the ground, and that's the only way Los Alamitos has been able to stop it. They can't stop the passing. They got to get it before the passes.
Reduta came in on an inside blitz, and he shut off a block and made a beeline right for Walker's back. There you see he just shuts off the block, and that time Easter didn't pick up the blitzing linebacker, and Walker just got buried.
So now it's 2nd down and 18 yards to go.
And here's the same play they just had a moment ago after being sacked. 2nd and 18, instead of trying to get 18, 20 yards on this pass play, throw a shorter pass, try and get 10, 8 yards, make it 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8.
Seems like Los Alamitos is making their adjustments defensively, and they're employing the blitz. And now they try to have the draw, and that is Kent Weiss trying to go through, but he was not fooled. Matt Hawk had made the first hit on him, and who was in there also was Havens and Reduta.
Los Al guessed right that time. They stacked the line of scrimmage. Everybody was coming, and the draw play that time ran right into them, and there was no gain on the play.
And there's Van Gorder, the coach, one of the defensive coaches, barking out his instructions to that defense that's on the football field.
Take a look at it again. Weiss has nowhere to go. Reduta again on the blitz, and that time he went right into the Los Al defense.
3rd down and long to go. 3rd and 16. Walker still has the ball, throws up a long pass. It falls incomplete. It was intended for Parkinson. So now that puts Servite into a 4th and 16 to go. And Los Alamitos will be bringing in their punt returning team. And there you see Kit McCullough coming off the field. Nice defensive play.
And this will be the first time we get a chance for us to see Servite punt the ball. Good pressure again. Reduta in the backfield. And Walker is forced to roll out of the pocket and just overthrows his receiver.
And that's an amazing statement that you just made, Neil. That's the first time that Servite is punting. That shows you how much of an offensive football game this really has been. He gets the ball off. It's a nice kick. It takes a bounce, a Servite bounce. Milan lets it go, and it's touched dead on the 28-yard line. So Los Alamitos will take over 1st and 10 with 7 minutes and 51 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and the game is tied 21-21.
I'm kind of amazed right there that Mitchell is not the deep back on the punt returns. He's back deep for the kickoff returns, and that's a great chance right there to have Mitchell get his hands on the football. Of course, many teams will not kick the ball to him, but Mitchell, with all that room back there on the punt return, can really make things happen, and I'm surprised he's not back there on the punts.
Gregnano pitching out to Mitchell. And Mitchell did not fool anybody that time at all, and he was hit in the backfield, and he was brought down by Brett Boznaski. What a great defensive play.
A great play by Boznaski, but equally a silly foul against Servite. A late hit is going to cost him.
That's a dead ball foul on the white team. 1st down.
As you heard the referee, here's the replay of that play. Mitchell can't do a thing, as Boznaski is back there, read the play perfectly, and brought him down. And then there, as you could see, the late hit, and that was foolish because they just totally negated a phenomenal defensive play. Now it's 1st down, Los Al.
Ordonez was the guilty party on that personal foul.
Gregnano back to pass. Gregnano has his pockets disintegrated, and he is running the ball. He has nothing but daylight in front of him. Gregnano straight ahead, almost to the 30-yard line. 1st down, Los Alamitos. Mike Wallach brought him down from Servite. Boy, that's a great gutsy play by Gregnano.
Gregnano with the presence of mind. He felt the rush coming all around him, saw that his receiver was not open, and immediately took off for the open area. That was to his left side. As we take a look at it again, he had problems on the snap. He's looking, feels the pressure. Now he just takes off. Great instinct. College scouts love that, and he's got some good speed, showing some good speed, and makes a big gain.
Mitchell straight ahead. Mitchell breaks out of a tackle. Mitchell is still on his feet. Mitchell gets out of 2 tackles. Who actually had the last hit on him was Ordonez of Servite, but Mitchell he runs out of tackles.
Mitchell is amazing at 5'10" and only 168 pounds. He's not going down on the first hit, and when a person like that has that great a speed doesn't go down on the first hit, that just makes him doubly tough.
It's an 8-yard gain. Second down, 2 yards to go. Grignano on a keeper going straight ahead. Oh no, Grignano still has the ball. He is pushed out of bounds on the 3-yard line. What a play. Lost it.
Great misdirection play. Most of us lost it. There's a lot of fans up here in the stands were wondering what happened. They thought the ball was down. They were mad because the offense didn't execute the right play, and all of a sudden the quarterback keeps running for the end zone and just made a great play. Fooled the defense, fooled the stands, and fooled us too.
I hope the truck has a replay because I saw Grignano with the keeper and then I lost him. The truck can tell us they don't have this particular play, but we were really confused up here in the booth. That is a pitch to Mitchell, and that's a touchdown. Los Alamitos. Great play call as they pitch out to Eric Mitchell as he's sweeping to the right, and he just tiptoed into the end zone.
There was no support by the Servite defense time. Great pitch, great blocking by the offensive line. Mitchell got to the outside, and Hex could really pick his way. He could go inside, he could go outside. There was one defender back there, and he was being blocked as well. And that was just a great call and great execution by the Griffins offensive line.
So Los Alamitos has taken the lead. We're setting up for the extra point. Here's a replay. Here's a replay of Eric Mitchell going in untouched. And the extra point is good. So with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third quarter, Los Alamitos has taken the lead again, 28-21.
This is going to be a big drive for the Servite Friars this time up. Last time they felt Los Al made some changes. They had Reduta come in and really make some defensive pressure. He blitzed 3 straight times. They stopped him early, and now Los Al marches down the field. They score, and we'll see what kind of poise Servite has. They have been at a fast pace right now. It's like trying to keep up with a sprinter in a long cross-country race, and we'll see if Servite's running out of breath or if they have the stamina to stick with Los Al.
And the key play of that drive was that personal foul penalty, which took a losing play, made a first down for Los Al instead of having a second and real long, and it gave them life, and they wound up just taking the ball all the way down. Los Al kicks the ball off. Easter has the ball on the 15-yard line. Easter still has the ball, and he's all the way up to the 34, maybe the 35-yard line. Brian Havens made the tackle, so Servite takes over. And that last drive was 5 plays for 72 yards, and again, Los Alamitos with blinding speed made the touchdown in 1 minute and 6 seconds. Here's the replay of the kickoff. As you can see, Easter in heavy traffic, hurdling some tacklers, and finally gets brought down on the 35-yard line.
That's a big play for Servite right there. That gives him a shot on the arm, gives him good field position.
Walker again back to pass. Right off the hands and the shoulder pads of Kent Weiss.
And another drop pass by the Servite receiving corps. That time they ran crawl in a little out and up pattern. They brought the safety over. They brought the safety over, and crawl took the defense away from everybody, and Weiss just slid under and had a lot of running room, but was unable to catch the football.
As you can see, the offensive huddle on the sideline, and we had a nice shot of Eric Mitchell. And what's really interesting, Los Alamitos on their drive had only rushing plays, and right now we're seeing Servite only having passing plays. Kroll is the man in motion for Servite, and Walker's back to pass, and Walker eludes the tackle from Reduta, and it's complete to Parkinson. What a phenomenal play, and he's finally brought down by Kit McCullough. There's a fumble on the play. Los Alamitos has the fumble. Kit McCullough made the recovery.
2 great plays right there, an unbelievable play. Number 1, Walker eluding Reduta, who gets inside again. And a great play by Walker, completes the pass, and a good job by the defense that time as they stripped the receiver of the football and got the fumble, and they get the ball back.
Reduta is really upset that he did not have the sack. He was back there, and he couldn't bring him down. We're going to have a replay of this. Look at Reduta all the way in there, spins Walker around, can't bring him down, but the pass goes up. It is complete, and the ensuing fumble. We're back to live action. There's Eric Walker. There's Eric Mitchell with a fine run all the way out to the 35-yard line. Mitchell is so blinding fast. We were kind of hung up on a replay of the preceding play, but Mitchell got the handoff and just ran like with afterbavers.
Tell you, things are happening so fast right here as we watch Parkinson again. He is getting stripped of the ball right there. Number 4, Kit McCullough just knocks the ball right out of his hands, and Parkinson not doing a very good job of protecting the ball. You see the head coach, John Barnes, right there. He threw his hands in disgust once Walker got that pass off, and it looked like Servite was going to get a big play.
Intended for Tyler Cashman. It was low, and behind him he tried to make the reception. Couldn't do it, so now it'll be 2nd down and 10.
That wasn't that poorly of a thrown ball. It's a little bit behind him, but Cashman kind of shaking his head a little bit. He tried to kind of take off and cheat on that play and tried to take off without the football. He could have easily taken one step back, caught the football, and then run upfield.
Los Alamitos has an opportunity right now to capitalize on the turnover of Servite if they can possibly put it into pay dirt, and they are now in the territory of Servite, and that's Grignano again on a quarterback draw, and he goes straight up to the 20-yard line.
What a great call right there by John Barnes. A quarterback draw, 2nd and 10. Everybody in the field is looking to to throw the ball, and he runs a quarterback draw.
And he went right up the tush of Jason Garrido. Boy, he just took that snap and went right up there, and that offensive line makes that work. The running game, Mitchell, 11 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's number 22, Eric Mitchell of Los Alamitos. And that's Mitchell with the ball right now. Mitchell goes all the way up to the 16-yard line.
That last replay we saw Jason Garrido really lead the play, and he made a nice block on the linebacker that sprung Grignano for some more yardage on that play. And right now, Los Al trying to put the killer instinct on Servite right now. Servite kind of down. They're kind of tired. The defense is starting to wear down, even though we have a little under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter right now. They're a little discouraged, and Los Al trying to bury them right here in the 3rd quarter.
And Servite has a couple of players who do go both ways. Wallach, Sean Easter, so they're trying to wear him down. That's Mitchell still with the ball. He eludes one tackler, but he is now gang tackled for virtually no gain, maybe just a yard.
Well, I think the Friar defense heard me right there saying they were a little down and a little out right now, and they got fired up and made a nice play, got good penetration from off the defensive front, and got into the backfield of Los Al and caused a loss right there. That's something Servite's going to have to do. They're going to try and stay in this game right now because it's 3rd down, and the way Los Al has been going, you might see him go on 4th down.
Collins, the man in motion. Grignano back to pass. Grignano, well, I don't know what to say about that. Looks like Grignano wanted to throw Fuentes, either Fuentes or Dan Nugent.
Number 56, Francis Gonzalez from Servite, did a nice job, caused some pressure, and he kind of made a nice slap at the arm of Grignano. Might have brushed his elbow a little bit and caused that pass to fall way short of its target.
So it's a 4th down, and Los Alamitos is going to be trying a 35-yard field goal from their own 25-yard line. Collins is the holder. The ball is up. The kick is long enough. The kick is good. That is Eric Wallace with a 35-yard field goal. So with 3 minutes and 59 seconds left in this 3rd quarter, Los Alamitos 31, Servite 21.
And the Griffins right now 2 for 2 on their possessions. They've had the ball twice, they've scored twice, and they've opened up a 10-point advantage right now, and they're doing it through the ground. Right now they're trying to eat up the clock, and they have the feeling that they can wear down that Servite defense. That's why their tendency is to head toward the running game a little bit, running Mitchell, Grignano on a couple of runs, and they're going to try and wear that Servite defense down, try and get a little more ball control.
Los Alamitos defense is doing a lot of stunting and blitzing, and they were, it seems like they've made some adjustments on their defensive unit, and offensively, they seem to be taking advantage of them keying on Eric Mitchell, and we've had a couple of great quarterback draws by Todd Grignano.
That's a great call, 2nd and 10, a quarterback draw. You know, who in the right mind would call a quarterback draw 2nd and 10, but Barnes did it, and it paid off.
Ordonez fumbles the ball, picks it up. He's way back in his own territory, and he's finally brought down by Brian Havens. Brian Havens brought him down. Outstanding play. He was first hit by Tyler Cashman, but Brian Havens finally brought him down, and Los Alamitos pushes them back deep into the Servite territory. So it'll be 1st down for Servite, and the ball is on their own 9-yard line.
And we're watching a little bit of the youth and inexperience of Servite fall into play right now. They're a little down. They're down by 10 points. It's been a long, tough game so far. Los Al just keep putting the pressure on, and Servite's kind of the inexperience is causing them to back it up in their own territory.
Now we'll see back in their own 9-yard line. Will they pass? No, it is now a handoff, and that's Easter going straight up, and that's Brian Havens again, and Hart Brown.
Right now, LaSalle doing a lot of stunning. Their linebackers are rushing. They're rushing from the outside. Reduta is coming in from the inside, and they're putting a lot of pressure. They're just sending everybody. They figure Walker takes a long time to set up right now. I think that's what the coaches harked on. Walker takes a while to drop back, get his feet set, and throw the ball, so they figured they'll gamble on covering people man for man on the wideouts, and they'll try and put as much pressure on Walker as they possibly can.
Los Alamitos' defense seems like a kind of got a shot in the arm right now. Walker still has the ball. Walker is sacked in his backfield, and that is Hart Brown. And Reduta was there to give him a hand.
Once again, Reduta is going to be the defensive player of the game here in the second half. That's the 5th time he's been in the backfield, because Walker, the misdirections are not going to really do anything. Misdirection plays like that take a long time to set up, and if you execute them right, they're going to pay off. But right now, right there, Reduta right in the backfield. Walker has nowhere to go. So right now, to counter those blitzing linebackers, you got to throw little quick outs, little slant patterns, the type of offense LaSalle has done. And for Servite to counter that, if you take a long time to try and set up LaSalle, the way things are going, they're going to be in the backfield all night long in the second half.
Reduta was made that sack, and who helped him was Ed Levia. Called Hart Brown, but it's actually Levia. Walker back to pass, wide open was Parkinson, and he didn't. Did he keep the ball?
Looks like he did.
What a heck of a reception that was.
Parkinson, another great concentration on the play right there, and that time Walker got rid of the ball quickly and was able to complete that pass. Parkinson, a great reception.
We've seen some great concentration tonight on the wide receiver, actually the receiver's period. Let's take a look at that again. Off his shoulder pads, brings it in. He is just plowed under.
And that's the way a receiver should react. Hey, if you're going to get hit and you're going to get your bell rung, you might as well catch the football. Make it worthwhile.
Absolutely. First down and 10 for Servite. First man through. Is that Weiss?
It's tough to tell from up here. We'll take a look at seeing who that running back is. But right now, Servite trying to keep the ball on the ground. Right now, the running game, I think it was Wallach carried that ball. The running game is trying to keep the linebackers honest. They're trying to keep those linebackers honest, respect the run, and then when they run the play action, that'll keep the linebackers home instead of in the backfield. On that last pass, we saw on the replay, Reduta that time got picked up by the offensive back that time, and that allowed Walker to complete that pass.
The clock continues to run. We have approximately 1 minute left in this third quarter. Walker back to pass. It is complete to Kent Weiss. Weiss has a lot of running room. Weiss is over the 50-yard line into Los Alamitos territory, into around the 44-yard line.
And I think the Servite coaches have heard me on offense. The quick passes, getting rid of the ball quickly, that is going to counteract that all-rushing defense of LaSalle right now. And the little quick passes to the back, Walker really quickly gets rid of the ball. Just a little short pass, and Weiss does the rest as he runs upfield for a big gain. And that's going to keep the linebackers at home. It's going to keep the defensive linemen from stunning, and that'll open up the downfield passing game that Servite's done so well tonight.
What an impressive team this Servite team is. They are not, even though they're young and full of juniors, they are out there fighting, and they're just plowing down the field, hoping to get a score to get this game close. That's Billy Ray. Billy Ray on the reception, and he's tackled by Dominguez.
And we have a flag in the backfield. I don't know if we're going to get Hart Brown for a personal foul penalty or whether we have a holding. But there is a flag back there.
It is holding against Los Alamitos. And as you can see, Griffin Pride starts right here.
Looked like he might have signaled. It's tough to tell whether he signaled for a holding or a personal foul, but in either case, that's going to be 15 big ones against the Griffins, and that 10, 15-yard pass play now becomes a real big play.
So now the Friars are deep in Los Al territory.
43.
The ball
I warned him twice.
You hear the referee saying he warned Hart Brown twice about roughing the quarterback, and that time he did a little too much. Walker had already got rid of the ball, and he was still trying to bring Walker down to the ground, and that time the referee threw his flag.
The clock continues to run as we're under 20 seconds left in this third quarter. There was 2 men in motion. There was no flag on the play. The play goes on. It's a handoff to Kent Weiss going straight ahead. The referees missed that one.
Well, actually, as the third quarter comes down, both men can move if they're moving to a set position. If the ball was to snap as both men were taken off, then you have a procedure penalty, but they set themselves for that 1 second. That's why Walker waited, and they managed to get that play off.
And at the end of the third quarter, Los Alamitos has scored 10 points in the third quarter to take a lead, 31-21. We'll be right back.
Thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece okay, Claire.
But Vince...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But Vince...
No more dashboard du jour or Vince under glass, huh?
But Vince...
Look out!
Even with airbags, Vince, you still got to remember to buckle your safety belt.
Now you tell me.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Bye. Where does he get his information about drugs, alcohol, and sex? One day he's a child, and the next he's making decisions that could risk his life. It's a helpless feeling for a parent because you can't always be with him to keep him safe. But you can teach him how to be safe, and those words will stay with him, even when you can't.
We can help you talk about AIDS. Call for a guide.
As you can see, it's 31-21, and there's Todd Gregnano on the sideline. Kind of surveying the situation, standing all by himself, and there is Walker calling out the signals. Walker back to pass. Walker, plenty of time. Walker now being pulled out of the pocket, eludes one tackler, and he has finally, oh, Walker, what a great bit of running, and he is finally brought down.
Walker was very fortunate on that play. He actually turned a big loss into a little bit of a game, but at that time he should have had the presence of mind to really throw the ball out of bounds and elude the sack.
Vic Martinez was the last man to bring him down, but must have been 4 or 5 Los Alamitos players touch him. Here's that play again. As you can see, there's 1, 2. There's Reduta, 3. And he is finally brought down. No, it was by Jeff Hertzig. Walker again back to pass. The ball was intended for Jeff Gardner as he stretched out to get it, but it just fell off his fingertips. So it'll be 4th down.
I think you're going to see Servite go for it right here. They're at the 20-yard line. A field goal really does them no good right now. It just gets them within a 7 right now, and they really need the touchdown because as people know in high school football, you only get 12 minutes per quarter, unlike 15 for college and pros, and so time is of the essence right now, and a touchdown is what Servite needs.
And that's exactly what's happening. It is 4th down and 6, and a most important play for the Servite Friars. Walker back to pass. Kent Weiss has the ball, has the first down, and has the touchdown.
They signal for the touchdown. What a great play. Once again, Kroll sending the receiver up the sideline, drawing the defense toward him. Walker looks deep, and they just flush Rice right off the line. Little out pattern, and he just does the rest and gets into the end zone. Take a look at it again. You'll see Weiss just come right out of the backfield. He is wide open, and right there, number 33 for Brian Havens for Los Al is late on his assignment, and Weiss is left to run the open field.
Great call and great running by Kent Weiss of the Friars. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So now with 11 minutes even left in this football game, Servite closes the gap to within 3. The score is 31 Los Alamitos, 28 for Servite. What a shootout.
Well, unbelievable right now. What a great call by Larry Toner. The way to counteract the blitzing linebackers is to throw little outs to the running backs. If they elude those linebackers because they're blitzing, they're free to roam in the open field. And that time, Weiss beat Havens. Havens had looked in trying to get a rush and missed his assignment, and he was left to run the open field.
4 plays before that, leave the quarterback alone.
Los Alamitos fanning out to get the opening kickoff. To get this next kickoff, excuse me.
Number 5, Sean Kane.
That last drive was 10 plays for 91 yards, and it took 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Walker, listen to this, Neil. Walker, out of 36 attempts, has 23 completions, 328 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Squib kick. It's touched by Sorensen, finally picked up by Sean Hooker. And Sean Hooker takes it up to around the 33, maybe the 34-yard line, and it'll be Los Alamitos ball, 1st and 10.
What's great about Walker's performance tonight is that a lot of scouts are coming to see Greg Nano. He is the highly recruited quarterback in the state, and a lot of scouts from a lot of universities are here. And when you get a chance to play against somebody like Greg Nano, it's a good chance to take advantage, display some of your own skills. And I'll tell you, with those stats, Walker is definitely taking advantage of the opportunity tonight.
Grignano back to pass. Tyler Cashman has the reception. Tyler Cashman is dragging the guy who was just hanging onto his belt. He has a 1st down for Los Alamitos.
And right there, the defensive back for Servite's got to come up and honor that play right now. He's supposed to have help from his strong safety in the backfield. There's no reason why that person, as we take a look at it again, the cornerback cannot come up and play him tough. Number 7 for
John Cassidy's just hanging out. He can't put him down.
Can't get him down, and he's got to realize that he's going to get help from his strong safety to stop that play.
Mitchell. And Mitchell's got daylight again. Mitchell turns the corner. Mitchell has one man to beat, and Mitchell has him beat. Touchdown, Los Alamitos. Oh, Neil, this man is phenomenal.
Unbelievable play. Mitchell in the open field, and once he got outside, he was long gone. An unbelievable run by Mitchell, a great weapon with Greg Nano and Mitchell in the backfield. Los Al is just going to rack up points all year long.
Wow, my oh my, what a tremendous run by Eric Mitchell, 5'10", 168-pound senior. The loss for Mayfair, a tremendous gain for Los Alamitos. Los Alamitos gets that touchdown right back from Servite in blinding speed fashion. It's a high snap from the center. Collins brings it down. The kick is up and good by Eric Wallace. They make the conversion, so it's now 38-28. Los Alamitos over Servite, and they widen the gap again to 10 points.
Unbelievable. As we take a look at the play again, watch Mitchell just turn it up. He's cutting up the field. Good field vision. And once he turns the sideline, there's only one thing he's looking at, and that's the goal line.
He's had 200 yards already tonight.
I think that was Ordonez that he had to beat, and he did just that. And when he gets his afterburners going, there's not too many people are going to be able to get him. He's got 4.4 speed, but he's got quickness on top of all of that.
He's got great moves, showing a lot of ability right now, and there's no reason with that kind of speed Mitchell cannot be a Division I running back right now. They list him at 5'10", 168 pounds, and maybe if he goes to anywhere college, they beef him up to 180, 190 pounds. He will be a force.
Los Alamitos is blowing their statistics on time of possession. 2 plays, 67 yards for 48 seconds worth of time of possession. That is all.
Mitchell with that last run, that gives him 14 carries, 225 yards.
Wow. Dave Finn got the kickoff return, brought it all the way up. Josh Beanie was the one that brought him down, so it'll be 1st down and 10 for Servite. The ball is planted on the 34-yard line, and we are under 10 minutes to play in this football game. And there you see John Barnes and Coach Van Gorder on the sideline. I think even though they're not smiling, they got to be a little bit more relieved the way this football game is now starting to go.
Right now, they can score at will against Servite. They know that, but of course the problem is Servite is having an easy time scoring against Los Alamitos, and that's got to concern Barnes. And you know, this game is far from being over with 9:45 to go in the 4th quarter and only a 10-point game. You're going to run up against some quality defensive teams in the Empire League. You got Esperanza with Keith Navidi and a great offense and a defensive line that averages 245 pounds per man. Navidi, an all-state nose guard. Loera, very strong defensively. And if you can't score the points at will and your defense is allowing teams to run right over you, you're going to have some problems. And that's got to be a concern for Barnes heading into the rest of his preseason games before he hits the Empire League.
I think that's a very, very good point. We know this Los Alamitos team can score. They scored 42 points last week. They already have 38 points on the board, and still with almost 10 minutes left to play in this football game. But their defense has put up a total of 50 points so far.
We mentioned that time of possession stat right now for the total right now up to the minute. Servite time of possession 24 minutes and 14 seconds. Los Al 13 minutes and 36 seconds. Los Al has only had the ball in this half for 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and they scored 17 points.
First down and 10. Servite. Walker is back to pass. He has 3 men out, 4 men out on pattern. The ball was intended for Kent Weiss. It was intercepted. I lost it. Was it a fumble? It's Los Alamitos' ball, but Neil, I lost what happened. Was it a fumble or was it an interception?
The referee obviously ruled that there was a completion and a fumble on the play. The referee never blew his whistle. He kept looking at the ball. The Servite receiver figured, as we take a look at it again, the Servite receiver is going to take a look at the ball and not react. The referee hasn't blown his whistle, and you got to keep playing. Take a look at it again. Weiss has the ball caught and then it loses the ball.
Sean Hooker stripped that ball from him.
Almost looks like an incompletion. The referee didn't rule it dead. It was a live ball, and Los Al jumped on it.
One of the characteristics of Los Alamitos' defense over the years, and I've been doing these games, this is my 6th season, is they have the innate ability of being able to be very opportunistic on defense, making turnovers. That is a completed pass for Los Alamitos for a very short game. Chad Milan made the reception.
And that's a real big turnover for Servite right there. They needed to score on that possession, and now you give Greg Nano a chance to really blow this game wide open.
Exactly right. They have a 10-point lead. If they were to put up another 7 points right now, that really puts Servite, with a very young team, way deep in the hole, and it allows the defense of Los Alamitos to even play that much more loose, which they have been doing. And my God, there's Mitchell. Breaks a tackle. Mitchell breaks another tackle. Mitchell breaks a third tackle. He turns the corner. Mitchell is still alive and finally put out of bounds on the 20-yard line, breaking 3 tackles. Neil, am I a believer?
He is unbelievable. One of the best running backs I've seen in a long time in high school football. There's been a lot of great ones. Last year, of course, Derek Brown for Servite, but Mitchell right now showing that he is one of the class running backs in Orange County, if not in the southern section. Take a look at it again. Ability for a 168-pound running back to keep breaking tackles, a nice stiff arm right there, and basically you better drill him and gang tackle him because he's showing right now that he's not going to go down the first hit, and with his speed, he'll have a big, big season.
I think what happens, they all have a hand on him, but they don't, because he's so fast, they really don't have hit him flush. And as a result, they're not getting enough on him to make it worthwhile. That was Laquan Beckton who had that last carry, and Dave Quinn brought him down for the Friars.
And the key to being a good running back is even though when you get hit, you keep your legs moving. You keep pumping your legs until you're finally brought down. And if people are going to gang tackle you or try and tackle you one-on-one up in the shoulder pads, a lot of times, even if you only weigh 170 pounds, you're not going to go down. Mitchell keeps those legs moving, and he just keeps breaking tackles.
Straight ahead. Greg Nano again with that quarterback keeper. Mike Wallach finally made the tackle on him. And the clock continues to run. So in addition to them trying to make the score, Neil, they're also playing the clock now.
Right now, well, Los Al almost scores too quickly. They need to run out the clock as much as they can. And the way they score so fast, they only take a minute and a half to score football or to score points right now. Servite's going to have another chance to score a couple of times, but it's just amazing with the quickness that Los Al scores.
Straight ahead, that's Mitchell. And Mitchell is inside the 10 now as the clock continues to run. It's a first down for Los Alamitos. It'll be first and goal.
We don't get a penalty called.
It's a good offensive surge by the offensive line right there. A little power football. Mitchell just ran right up the backside of his offensive tackles right there and just pushed forward and tried to get the first down, and he did. And that's just going to eat the clock more and more.
Ball is on the 7. It's a pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell cuts back in. Mitchell is close to the goal line. I don't think he got in, but he's probably right on the 2-yard line. Scott Jones was the man from the secondary coming up to finally put him down.
And there's another great example of Mitchell keeping his legs moving, trying to drive himself into the end zone. He got his back turned towards the goal line, but he just kept pushing back. Watch it here on the replay. Mitchell's just going to keep his legs moving. He'll turn his back, but he's going to keep pumping his legs until about 4 or 5 Servite Friars finally bring him down.
Right here, Todd.
Mitchell is brought out of this football game. It's a short yardage offense. They've given it to Laquan, and he is short of the touchdown, even though they had their short yardage offense.
Referee complimenting both players. Very clean play that time. 3rd down and goal, and right now Los Al almost with the confidence knowing that they're going to score, but they want to take a few plays right now, eat up the clock, take a couple of minutes. And I think if they take 2 minutes, that'll be probably the longest time they've had the football before they scored a touchdown tonight.
And the clock continues to run as we're close to 6 minutes left in this football game. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Grignano still has the ball. Grignano sweeping. Grignano is in for the touchdown. A little cavalier the way he kind of jaunted in there, so to speak. He had the ball holding in his hand down on his left side, but it's touchdown. Los Alamitos with 5:56 to go.
A little bit of showboating, a great call on the bootleg around to the left side of the field, and Grignano really went untouched and showed the Servite players that they weren't going to tackle him on that play.
So the Griffins, here's the replay of that as Grignano sweeping to the left. He knows he has it in there, and he just kind of saunters in. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 5:56 left in this football game, Los Alamitos has 45 points on the board. Servite has 28. So that means 2 weeks in a row Los Alamitos has scored in the 40s against Marina, which was not that strong of a football team, but Servite, without question, a much stronger football team, and they still were able to put up a 45.
That's very impressive, and that's going to send a message throughout the southern section, if not the Orange County, that Los Al has scored 87 points in their first 2 games. But another message that's going to be sent through is that they've allowed 50 points. And that's going to show that, yeah, we can still, as you take a look at Coach Larry Toner of Servite, he's got to be frustrated, more frustrated. He's got to be proud of his team. They've hung in there and battled, but a game like this is going to wear you out.
Without question, and they have quite a few players who do go both ways. And they were able to have a 21-0 victory over Wilson, and they had their hands full with Los Alamitos as they finally got their game working.
That last drive for Los Al went 8 plays for 45 yards, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. That's got to be the longest time of possession on a drive they've had all night.
That's Weiss who has the ball. Weiss is still on his feet. Weiss was over knocked down, and Weiss is able to... Tyler Cashman, oh my. Tyler Cashman grabs his shoulder pad and gave him a complete swivel kind of a tackle from an Olympic scoring. I'll give him a 9.75 on that one.
And that's a third shirt tackle Los Al has taken advantage of tonight, and I know Larry Toner's going to invest some money in tearaway jerseys. He's going to come out against Mater Dei as we take a look at it again. He's going to go to the AD and say, I need some tearaway jerseys because my guys can score touchdowns, but people keep shirt tackling us to death.
Well, I think they also better have some tearaway shoulder pads. Look how he got him there. Oh, no, you're right. He was right on the jersey. My word. You're absolutely right. I think it would be a wise investment of this Servite program. Walker back to pass. Wide open happens to be Gardner. And Gardner is brought down on the 28-yard line. Chris Weiler finally brings him down, but Gardner was wide open.
And right now the Los Al D-backs are going to give him the cushion now. They don't want to get beat deep, and Servite doing a good job. They need to take what the Los Al defense is going to give them. They're going to give them the 10, 15-yard pass, and that's what they should take. They can't get 17 points on one play. You got to take what the defense gives you, march down the field, and score as quick as you can. And Walker's going to do that right now.
Not only is the Los Alamitos defense the enemy of the Friars, so is the clock. There's approximately 5 minutes left in this football game, and the clock continues to run. Walker taking his time as he's barking out the signals, and there is is that a flag for too much time?
Yeah, that's a delay of penalty right there. The back judge is the man keeping the time, and Walker, as you heard the call, Walker that time waited for his man to come into motion, and he's a little late doing that, and that caused a delay of game.
You know, I've noticed it throughout the football game. Walker has a very long count as he's underneath the center, and I wonder if they're audibilizing out there, or is it just that's the way they run their offensive series?
There's possibly, if you see the Los Al line, all 8 men coming at the defensive line of scrimmage right there, he might be audibilizing, calling different plays. If the pass play is designed to go downfield, he'll shorten it up and call something else.
Walker is back to pass, and there is Jeff Herzig, but Walker actually spun the ball off. Wallach got the ball. I kind of lost it a little bit. I thought Herzig put got him down there, but he actually got it off to Wallach, and Wallach was able to run laterally.
And that was either a delay. That was either a delay run right there. As we take a look at it again, that was a design play for Wallach to come on the end around right there, and it's just a good job by the Los Al defense. They got excellent penetration, made a good counter call right there, and caused the big loss.
Walker was hit exactly at the same time that he handed off the ball. I thought it was a sack, but he was able to get rid of it, and they wound up with a gain. Walker back to pass. Walker intended for Parkinson. It actually went off the helmet. We have Tyler Cashman playing secondary.
We also have Brian Havens back there on the play, and that time Havens taking a deep drop on the pass play at that time, and he was there to deflect that pass as well.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Seal Beach Cable Communications Foundation, funding local programs for the residents and the community of Seal Beach. And we thank each and every one of you, and it's been a pleasure to put this game on. I'm Denny Siegel along with Neil Evans, and we're having a great time as Los Alamitos is ahead 45-28, and we're under 4 minutes to play in this football game. Actually, under 3.5 minutes to play. Walker. Oh my, Walker was just kind of floating out there, found Wallach in the flat, just threw a little touch pass to him, and Wallach just tried to run before he had it.
That time, that would have been a big play right there. I don't think Servite would have had the first down, but it would have made it about 4th down and 10, maybe 4th and 8. And right now it's 4th and 20. Servite has to go for it, being down by 17 points, but you know, it's a lot easier to get about 8 or 10 yards as we take a look at it again as it is the 20.
So you see, he just kind of threw the ball up there. It was just a real powder puff, and Wallach just tried to move before he had it in his grasp, which, as you alluded to, it was a big play that they should have made, even though they probably would have not made the first down. So it's now 4th and 20, and they are going for it. Walker. It is complete to Kroll, but he will be short and just short of the first down.
A nice play by number 30 on the defensive side for Los Alamitos. Sean Hooker did a nice job of coming from behind and making that tackle. And a gutsy effort by the Friars right there. That pass would have been complete, but Hooker with a nice tackle will turn the ball over to Los Al.
You know, they had 20 yards to make. Here we have the play. They were playing very soft on defense, and they almost played too soft. He had an 18-yard gain, and he needed 20. That came real close, but the issue is Los Alamitos held, and it's a turnover to Los Alamitos, so the ball is 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Greg Nano, hands off, and Mitchell has the ball, and it goes for just a 2-yard gain as he is tackled by Adam Tayabas.
Right now, Los Al going to play ball control. They're going to try and run out the clock. Servite still, I believe, has all their timeouts remaining, so they might try and stop the clock eventually. But with 2nd and 8, they are going to try and run out the clock and run out the rest of this game. And we'll see if Servite is going to call their timeouts.
The clock continues to run as we're at 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in this football game. Los Alamitos with a 17-point lead, 45-28. Mitchell. And Mitchell is stacked up in the backfield.
As our public address announcer had a tough time finding that ball. Mitchell on that play, a nice play by number 99, Brent Boznaski. Did a nice job, got some good defensive penetration, but really right now, with a minute 45 to go, it's all academic, and Los Al is going to escape a scary night and be able to go 2-0 in the next week.
We had a 21-21 tie at halftime. Servite, a most impressive team. Los Alamitos having lots of problems on defense. They made their adjustments offensively and defensively and got a real handle on this football game. And as you can see on the screen there's an awful lot of flags on that last play. And let's find out what happened. It is against Los Alamitos.
If they let the play go through, that's going to be 4th down.
White captain, you refuse the penalty. It'll be 4th down, son. You want to... Yeah, okay. Motion! White! That's declined. 4th down.
So Servite will decline the penalty. It'll be 4th down, and Los Al will be forced to punt the ball away, I believe, for only the 2nd time tonight. 3rd time tonight. and corrected by our correct staff crew.
Headed up by Mr. Brian Henderson, a graduate of Loyola, attending SC. Tyler Cashman standing in his end zone. Timeout has been called on the field by John Collins. We're sitting in front of the press box, and we heard Frank Duretti screaming out for someone to get on the ball, and John Collins was smart enough to call timeout because there was a problem with the formation.
So it gives us a chance to really recap and talk about the rest of the game right now. Los Al, as we were mentioning earlier, Los Al giving up 50 points in the 2 games right now. That's going to send a message out to the rest of the league to show, as we see Los Al up by 17, that the rest of the league can score against Los Al. They are a powerful offensive team, but they can be scored upon, and if your offense executes like the Servite offense did, and I think that's 28 points out of this offense and close to, I think, over 300 yards by Walker as a quarterback. It's just about all you can ask for Servite right now, and Los Al just has too many weapons and too tough a team to really compete against, and Servite with a young squad is really a year away, and they'll be a force to reckon with in the Angeles League.
Well, I agree with you on that because they have an awful lot of juniors that are playing football, and they're playing very good football. One more year under their belt, I really suspect that Servite will be pretty close to a powerhouse next year. 56 seconds left in this football game. Tyler Cashman standing in his end zone to punt the ball away. Gets a high kick pushing back Weiss. Weiss picks it up and is going straight ahead, and he's inside the 40-yard line.
Weiss with the nice return, got about 13 yards on that punt return, and good heads-up running, just got as much as he can. And Servite right now is going to try and, I don't know if they're going to try and cover the spread. The spread might have been 14 or 15 points, and they're down by 17, so we'll see what Walker has in mind.
And as you can see, the clock is running as we're under 40 seconds to play. What a great shot by our crack director and producers, and tip of the hat to you guys. Walker back to pass. Wide open, it happens to be Wallach. Wallach gets enough for a first down, ball on the 26-yard line. Jeff Herzig brought him down.
Well, if you think the defensive backs were playing very soft in the first half, they are way soft right now. They are 25, 30 yards off the ball, and you might have a couple of guys in the end zone right now for Los Al on defense.
And the clock continues to run as we're under 20 seconds left to play in this game. Ball is passed incomplete to Billy Ray of Servite. Servite running into a no-huddle offense as the clock continues to run, and we're under 10 seconds to play in this football game. We'll see if we're able to get this last play off. They are able to get the last play off as Walker is back to pass. It falls incomplete. Chad Milland is defending on the play. And ladies and gentlemen, the final score is Los Alamitos 45, Servite 28, in a game of nothing but offense. A tremendous shootout in the first half. The defense came into play a little bit for Los Alamitos in the second half, limiting Servite only with 7 points. Los Alamitos put up 24 points, and that really was the difference in the game. As you can see, 45 to 28, and we'll be right back.
Watch us for exclusive productions you'll never see anywhere else. Original dramas and made-for-cable movies brought to you by HBO and Comcast. Hard-hitting documentaries that give you unusual insights into today's real world. And compelling down-to-earth series the networks would never show you. For one-of-a-kind exclusive and original programs, nobody brings it home like HBO and Comcast.
As you can see, it's 45-28 as a final. Los Alamitos takes the Servite Friars and is able to finally put them away. And I think they were able to do it, Neil, because they made their adjustments on defense in the second half. They started doing some stunting, doing some blitzing, and they shut them down with only 7 points.
I think the Los Alamitos defensive coordinator saw that Walker takes a lot of time to get his feet set. When he gets his feet set and has time to throw, he is very dangerous, as he showed throughout the ball game tonight. But if you rush him, like any quarterback, you're going to mess up his timing and He'll incomplete some passes, and they got some sacks out of it. Although Walker kept his poise and got him to within 3, the pressure was just too much, and eventually Los Al just took over the game.
Very true. Brown, Reduda, Leyva, they were all in the backfield, really kind of hustling Walker, and Los Alamitos finally put them away. They put together 2 games with scoring over 40 points both times, but they've given up 50 points from the defensive end. You have some stats for the final stats.
We have some impressive stats right now. Greg Nano, 15 of 28 for 158 yards and 1 touchdown through the air, but he also 11 carries for 91 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Mitchell, of course, what a phenomenon he is. The first time I've had a chance to see Mitchell play this year, and I'll tell you, he is one of the best backs. A lot of people are talking about Gardner Hicks from Santa Ana and a lot of other folks, but I'll tell you, Mitchell is really one of the best backs in the Southern section tonight. 17 carries for 245 yards.
He can turn the corner, and you don't see backs be able to do that. We saw it in the kickoff return the first week, and we saw it on a couple of runs today, Neil. It's phenomenal.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Once he gets into the open field, he's amazing. One final stat to give you. Walker for Servite, 28 of 44, 387 yards, and you got to tip his hat to him. He played a great game.
Stellar performance. I think we have Willie Padilla on the field with an interview. Come on in, Willie.
Fun, huh?
Here we go, Coach. Thank you very much, Danny and Neil. I'm here with the head coach of the Los Alamitos Griffins, John Barnes. Great job by your team. This is not what you're accustomed to. This is the high-flying offense we talked about in the preseason.
Well, we've got the big play guys, and we've got a good O-line, and our quarterback's excellent, knows how to play and make adjustments and audibles. Some of the quarterback sneaks were his audibles in big time and at the right time, and it was fun. I'm most concerned with our kids coming out of here, playing well and getting a victory, and whatever the score is, that's okay with us.
It's got to be even sweeter playing a team such as Servite, a team with a great tradition, and also keeping that #1 ranking in Orange County.
Well, I think the most important thing isn't the ranking. We don't have anything to do with that, and I don't know if we're #1 or number 20 or whatever. But I am real proud of the kids for this win. I think Servite's one of the best programs in the county, probably in the last 25 years. And when we scheduled them, we knew this would be a big game. They came in winning 21-0 over Long Beach Wilson, and so for us, I thought to come in here and beat them tonight, and I think we beat them pretty soundly. Is a great step for our football program. We've done a lot of things, and the one thing we wanted to do more of, or get to the top, was to beat some of the best programs and maybe someday to win a CIF championship.
It seemed the turning point was when your team was down 21-14. You scored to tie the game, and then it seemed you lit a fire under your team at halftime. They only gave up a touchdown. They came out smoking.
Hey, the defense needs credit. The kid threw great. They blocked well. I mean, our kids were, I'm sure the defensive kids are real tired from putting the heat on them. In the second half, we did enough defensively to win. If we'd given up 21, it'd been a lot closer. We still, I guess, would have won. But the 7 points in the second half are a credit to our coaches on defense and our players that they could rally up like that. Because they had the same ability to try to stop us, and they couldn't,
One final question. It's like comparing apples and oranges when you talk about winning games 6-0, 7-0, and winning games such as this one, 45-28. Take them any way you can get them.
Definitely. Wins. People don't realize how hard it is to win consistently in football, I think, more than any sport, but any sport. And we'll take them any way we can get them. And it was fun. If we keep doing this, we'll probably have to up the ticket price because people pay a lot more to see that exciting game.
They're going to start calling it Air Barnes.
Whatever.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, Willie.
All right, that's a look from down here. I'm Willie Padilla. Let's go back upstairs to Denny and Neil.
That's another W for Coach John Barnes. Willie, thank you. Thank you, Coach. And Neil, we got some impressive statistics that we still haven't talked about as far as yardage gained.
I think one of the most impressive statistics is the total yardage of both teams combined for the game. 975 yards of total offense, almost 1,000 yards on the night. I mean, that's unheard of. NFL teams don't carry that much yard, and here we saw it in a high school game that only plays 12-minute quarters. That's impressive, and I'm sure both coaches are very pleased with their offensive cores tonight.
But equally as much, they're quite concerned about their defense because that's an awful lot of yards to give up. That's almost a season for some teams.
That could be a whole league season right there. If giving up 500 yards of total offense, the defenses are going to have to definitely make some adjustments in the coming weeks.
Without question. But Los Alamitos knew this. I talked to Coach Barnes before the season. He says we're going to score a lot of points, but potentially we might be giving up a lot of points. And so far, he's a pretty strong prognosticator and telling exactly what it is, because again, they scored a lot of points, gave up a lot of points, but the bottom line is they got a W.
And that's all that really matters, is that the word's going to be sent out that they're going to be tough to stop, but you can't score on them, and I'm sure Barnes doesn't really care after what's happened the last 2 years. They've been very successful to only lose in the final games, and if they want to win a final game 50-49, I'm sure he'll take it.
For sure. Okay, I'm Denny Siegel along with Neil Evans. It's been a pleasure to be with you tonight. Los Alamitos wins 45-28. Good night, everybody.